on an all-new Dr. Phil. Her family believes she's an unfit mother.
They're threatening to take my children from me if I don't come on the show.
Her boyfriend is homeless.
She's sleeping in my sister's car.
In your driveway?
Yeah.
Would you just walk by when you leave the house?
My mom and my sister gang up on me.
You want them to butt out?
Yes.
You're not taking care of your kids.
Because I work 50 hours a week. How many kids have you raised?
Of my own, none. Of yours, too.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'm trying to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, today a family wants the answer to a very important question. Is 30-year-old Katie fit to be a mother of her 2 young children? Now, her sister Grace says, definitely not. Not even a close call. She wrote to me because she claims Katie is constantly leaving her 6-year-old daughter at her mom's house and taking her baby boy to her homeless boyfriend Doug's tent to have sex and do drugs. When the baby's father, Doug, is not in the tent, he's living in Katie's van parked out in front of her mom's house. Now, Grace says Katie has always put Doug ahead of her own children. Take a look.
Katie is an irresponsible mother. Katie has been seeing Doug for years. Doug is a worthless low-life drug addict. Who pays for everything for him?
Katie.
Who drives his butter around?
Katie.
He's a bum. He doesn't have a job. Doug is homeless. He's sleeping in my sister's car.
I wake up here in the back seat and I normally just climb up to the front.
At one point, Katie and Doug were living in a tent. He got kicked out.
I'm not there because I didn't feel like that was safe for me. If I could stay in Katie's van, that's better.
Katie owns a van, and Doug is living in it, and when Katie is home, the van is parked in the driveway.
Mosquitoes are a bad deal. That's about it.
It's very embarrassing coming home seeing him in the van. When Katie's with Doug in the tent, they smoke weed. Doug has told Katie he loves weed more than her.
I use marijuana in my own medical way.
Katie has 2 kids.
And all kinds of colors in this
Look at this one. The oldest is a girl and she's 6. The other one is a boy and he just turned 1. Doug is the father of the 1-year-old.
Hi, Daddy. I love you.
Katie has told us they smoke weed around the smallest child.
Hey, baby.
She would take him out of his crib and drive to wherever Doug was sleeping in the tent, and they would stay there all night long. Why would you take a child to a tent? Right now, my mother and I are taking care of both of the children. She's 30 years old. She's made her mistakes, and now she has to pay for them. She has chosen Doug over the kids. It does piss me off. It's not fair. Katie gets to go out and do whatever she wants to do. My mother and I are sitting at home with her children. I do feel like I've raised her children. Both of the children gravitate to me and my mother. We are the moms. Me and my sister fight often. Our fights are normally yelling and screaming. Our fights were about the kids, money, and Doug. I wish Doug would fall off the face of the earth, to be honest. I want Katie to focus on being a mom, and I want us to be a normal family again.
Well, Katie's mom, Tara, says if her daughter doesn't get her act together, she's going to call Child Protective Services and have her children taken away.
I do have a lot of hope for Katie. Katie has dreams of being a nurse. She became a juvenile diabetic when she was 12. She wants to be a diabetes educator. I think she's so capable of doing anything she wants. Katie is smart, she's compassionate, but she is dating Doug, and he is a loser. He has dragged her down into the mud. I call Doug a tick. If people say, what's Katie's boyfriend's name? It's Tick, because he is sucking the energy out of Katie. He can't hold a job, he's homeless, and he relies on her for everything. And he's living in her car. I want to be grandma, but right now I am mom to the kids. I don't want to be. I don't want to get up every morning and get her ready for school. It is exhausting. I'm tired. I don't want to be 82 years old on senior night walking in my walker. And that's what it'll be. I have learned that Katie was stealing money from her own children. I came home from the store one day and I always put all of my change in the 2 piggy banks. But when I picked it up, there wasn't anything in it. Katie had told me that she had used the money for gas. I think she used it to support Doug. I need for Katie to step up and realize Doug is a loser and be the mom that she can be. I told Katie if she didn't get help, we were going to get custody of the kids.
So she's living with Doug. You say he is a bum, a loser, a lowlife, and worthless.
Pretty much, yeah. That's in a nutshell.
and she's working,
Yep, 2 jobs.
and he's not.
Right, she's supporting him.
If this is the guy she picked, who the hell did she turn down? He's living in her car?
Yeah.
In your driveway?
Yeah. She
What, do you just
supports
walk by him when you leave the house? He's out there in the car? He's in the car?
him. Yeah. It's embarrassing.
They pull the car far enough forward that we don't have to see him when we come out the door.
Yeah. And he'll lay down in the back to hide when we don't know that he's there.
Well, she even said to us that when she goes to work, he rides to work with her and sits in the car in the parking lot while she's working.
Her 2 jobs. He'll lay in the car all day when she's having her 2 jobs. Yeah.
She leaves at 10 in the morning, has a break in between the jobs, and then comes home around 11 or 12.
So he's in the car all day.
Yeah.
How do you sell that? How do you sell that to somebody? Okay, you go work 2 jobs, I'll wait in the car. Seriously, how does she sell that to her?
She's gotten him several jobs, but he can't keep them.
Because he's on drugs.
He doesn't show up to work, or he's on drugs, or I mean, you name it.
He said, I can't get a job because I can't pass
He
the
can't-
drug screen.
Right. He's told Katie he loves her. He loves weed more than her,
But she still works 2 jobs while he waits in the car.
and she
Yes.
supports him.
Where's the tent?
15, 20 minutes outside of where we live.
I've never seen it.
Well,
But
there
I
it
s-
is.
Yep.
But I see some of my stuff there.
Some of your stuff?
Well, yeah, that tarp, the blue tarp is mine.
Well, there's your tarp. So he sometimes is in this tent.
Yeah, and they take the smallest child sometimes to the tent.
A 1-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, well, where's the 6-year-old when she takes the 1-year-old to the tent?
With us.
But she takes the 1-year-old and takes him to the tent to be out there.
Yes.
Why have you let this happen one day?
There's no reasoning with Katie, really.
Very manipulative.
How does she make this okay with you? I'm just looking
It's
for
not
some common
okay.
sense. Well, apparently it is because it's going on.
Well, it's not okay. That's why I came here. That's why I wrote in, like, help. I don't know if there's helping her or if she's just a lost cause. I don't know what to do.
Grace and Tara say they are tired of watching Katie neglect her kids and support her, lose her boyfriend. But Katie says they're just too judgmental. I don't care how flat you make a pancake, it's got 2 sides. So we're going to hear from Katie next.
Katie does smoke in the car with the youngest. That is secondhand smoke. Katie doesn't have a great relationship with her oldest daughter because she's never home. Katie has yelled and barked at the oldest daughter and called her a brat. The oldest daughter has come to me and cried, saying, why does mommy want to spend more time with Doug? It is heartbreaking to see a 6-year-old cry because they want their mother.
Grace and Tara both agree Katie is a terrible mom. They say Katie spends more time with her loser boyfriend Doug than her own children, and Katie says, look, I'm a good mom, and the only reason that she came to the show today is because she was blackmailed. She said Tara and Grace threatened to take her children away if she didn't come here today. It's the only reason she's here. Take a look.
I feel like my mom and my sister gang up on me every chance they get. I absolutely think my family is blackmailing me. They're threatening to take my children from me if I don't come on this show. It's the only reason I am here right now. My relationship with my sister Grace is pretty much non-existent. We avoid each other at all costs. She's always been a spoiled little princess. It does make my blood boil when I hear that I'm not raising my own children. I never choose my boyfriend over my children. I will take my children to him, but I never choose him over them. I have spent the night in the tent with Doug a few times. I have taken my 1-year-old child up to see Doug, but we didn't intend on spending the night. We just fell asleep and we stayed. I love Doug with all my heart. I do want to be with him forever. I do smoke pot with Doug. Doug lives in my van right now. I am actually sitting in the back of my van, and my van is in my mom's driveway at my mom's house. He did sleep in a tent for about a month and a half in one of his friend's backyards, but he was not allowed there because they got into a fight, and he's not allowed back. I want my family to back off. Let me live my life. Let me raise my kids. Let me be the mom that I can be. I will fight till the day I die for my kids.
Okay, you want them to butt out.
Yes,
And if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here.
absolutely.
You wouldn't be here talking to me.
Not at all.
Because there's nothing I have to offer you, nothing you need from me. You're fine. You're making good judgments. Your life's going well. There's nothing I can offer you.
I'm working towards a goal.
Really?
Yes, really.
Smoking weed with your child in a tent? How is that
No,
good?
no.
Okay, you two are outside smoking weed while the youngest is in the tent. That's smart.
There was no her smoking weed all the time.
She
with
already
me.
told us, so it's all good.
She's smoked very, very few. She's not what you call a stoner.
I never said she was. I never once said she was.
Since I'm glad you're here. Or you're just here because she's here, right?
She needs some support. She needs some back.
I got this, babe.
No. He can. I'm glad you're here. I'm curious. You say she needs some support.
She doesn't have anybody on her side. She doesn't. They don't know what it's like in our shoes.
We don't live in a tent. You're
Because
right.
I work 50 hours a week, sweetheart.
So you're not taking care of your kids.
Because I work 50 hours a week.
But you choose to work nights so you don't see
She
them.
works throughout the day.
Stop. I can't stop working at night until they find a replacement for me. We've already had this conversation several times.
Find a different job.
No.
Why?
Well, why?
I enjoy what I do.
So you enjoy your job more than your kids?
Because you would be with your kids at night.
That's ridiculous, Grace. How many kids have you raised? Of your own?
My own, none. Of yours too.
No, you haven't.
Katie, I went down to Texas 3 times.
Are you the same person you were last year?
I think she's better than she
Are
was.
you the same person you were last year? Are you the same person you were last year? I don't think anybody in this room is the same person they were last year.
And your point?
I am not either. They are judging me on what I've done in the past.
I'm judging
Not
what you're doing now.
No, you're not.
Are you saying that you've evolved and you're better than you were last year?
Absolutely.
In what ways have you improved?
Last year, I was only working at night. I didn't have a car. I have $27 I need to pay off before I can start school in January, and that is my goal, is to start nursing school in January.
You're $27 away from nursing school?
Yes.
Okay. And are you two a serious item?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Why aren't you working?
I am going through some mental stuff.
Yeah, what kind of mental stuff how do you diagnose that? What's your thinking?
Overthinking, fear, just not having a focus on what I need to get done.
Are you in therapy? Are you getting help?
I'm not in any of
Because
that
there are
right
community
now.
mental health centers. There are all types of facilities that offer help based on a sliding scale, based on the ability to pay.
I've not looked too far into that route, so that is kind of more news to me. There's these things that can
See,
actually
there you
help
go.
you.
That's a good reason to be here today.
It is
See?
a good reason.
There you go.
Thank you.
You didn't want to be here today, and trust me, you wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for these children. And I like to give a voice to those who can't speak up for themselves. So whether you want to be here or not is of little concern to me. I'm here on behalf of the kids. So coming up, Katie's family says they have proof of unsafe situations Katie has placed her children in. And because I'm here on their behalf, I want to hear about those things and see if there's two sides to that coin. We'll look at that evidence when we come back.
My boyfriend Doug has been violent with me in the past. In January of 2015, we were laying in bed. I asked him if he was asleep, and instead of an answer, I got a scream. He had just gotten off a really long shift. I picked up a pillow and a blanket. I went to the couch, and he followed me in there and continued screaming at me. I said, I'll just go sleep in the car. Tried to grab the keys, but he wouldn't let me have them. I hit him in the face, and he pushed me up against the wall and had me there by my throat. He was choking me. He grabbed the keys from me and left. I was terrified for my life. He was arrested the next day. Doug was sentenced for 135 days. He served 9 because I begged the judge to let him out because I found out I was pregnant. I took Doug back.
Well, Grace and Tara claim Doug is a loser who has gone to jail twice for physically assaulting Katie, who he says he's here to emotionally and physically support. They say Katie and Doug shouldn't be together, and if Katie can't get help, she shouldn't have custody of her 2 young children, especially after Grace found some interesting information on Katie's social media.
I logged in to Katie's Facebook after she gave me her password, and I found some messages that were very disturbing and revealing. Katie and Doug were using Facebook to solicit sex. This message is between another guy and Katie. He says, not into 2 guys, only girls. Katie said, laugh out loud, okay. The other guy said, what do you think? Katie said, I don't know, maybe. He said, I'm down wherever, whenever. Tonight would be fun, laugh out loud. Katie said, but where though? And he said, anywhere. Sounds like Katie's asking him to join in sex with her and Doug, and this other guy's not really into that, but he was wanting to have sex with Katie. In this message, it's between Doug and Katie. Katie said, I'm lying in bed with another man. I only have bra and panties on. Will you bring a binky? Doug said, oh baby, I can't wait to come in and catch you. I brought my pink plaid bra and plaid panties. This message is very disturbing. It's saying that Katie is at a hotel room, possibly with another man, and apparently there will be role playing going on, and that Doug has women's clothes. It's kind of gross. It could mean that the smallest child is in the hotel room with them. That infuriates me. Why are you taking a child with you to have sex with other people? You should be a mother taking care of your children. Katie doesn't know that my mother and I know about all the Facebook messages, but I want her to know that we know.
You're concerned that she's involved in some type of sexual activity
Can I say
that
something
the
real
baby's
quick?
exposed to.
Right. I am.
That's your concern.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's an adult and what she wants to do sexually is up to her, but you're
Whatever.
afraid the baby's involved.
Why are you taking the kid? Yeah.
Okay. When I said I was laying in bed with another man, I wasn't laying in bed with another man. The baby was laying in bed with me. It was me, the baby, and Doug in the hotel room. There's never been another guy
Why are you
in
taking,
a hotel room.
Why are you taking him to a hotel room?
It's because I wanted to sleep in a bed with my boyfriend.
You have a home.
He can't be there.
Who cares?
You won't let him in there.
No,
so
he's not
I
allowed
wanted
in
to
my
sleep in
house.
a bed with my boyfriend and our child.
How did you get the money for a motel? I'm supporting your kids. I'm supporting you.
Whatever.
Why do you have women's clothes, first off? Why?
It's
Not your business.
I don't care if you dress up like Bozo the Clown. What I'm concerned about is the baby.
Do you think we do sexual acts in front of the child?
I don't know.
We don't.
I look at Katie's online dating profile, and it says, description, I'm a mother of a beautiful little girl and an amazing little boy. They are my life. I'm looking for someone that would like to play with
Doesn't say
my
that anymore.
BF and I. Have to be clean. We are 420 friendly. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Doesn't
That
say that anymore.
Right, because you took it down
But that's what it did
I
say.
did say that about a month and a half ago.
after we confronted you about
No.
Yeah.
What is
No.
420?
weed.
There were some pictures involved here that I was concerned about as well. This is a blurred, naked derriere with a gold sheet. And here is this baby with the same gold sheet.
There's 2 different days. You see there's July 10th and July 11th. That was probably him in the hotel room while I was at work and the baby was at the babysitter's. And there's nothing going on in the picture with the baby. Completely different day.
I'm really hoping so.
Well, why's the baby there?
Because I don't want him with you.
To raise our child.
Do you remember when he was born and you told me there will never be a day when you love him as much as you love her? You should love them equally. They are both your grandchildren.
But since I've been raising him for the past year,
You haven't been raising him for the last year.
I have to.
You have not. I take him everywhere I go because you told me you didn't want to raise another kid.
And I have been watching him every night, and he has become attached to me, and I'm very attached to him. I love him so much, Katie. I didn't think I would because he was part of Doug. I didn't think I would love him as much, and that was the reason, and you know that.
Then why can't we work as a family and raise this child?
Because
together?
you hurt her.
Let's take a break. Next, Grace and Tara say they aren't the only ones who know Katie neglects her children. We're going to hear from Katie's ex-husband in a few minutes, but I've got some questions for Doug. We'll be right back. Well, Grace and Tara claim Katie has a history of having sex with strange men she meets online. Is that true?
No.
And do you consider your relationship with Doug to be high risk?
No.
Has he hit you?
He did.
Did he attack you while you were pregnant?
He did, but I didn't know I was pregnant.
That makes it okay?
No.
Did he?
It doesn't.
Did he hit you and choke you?
He did.
Did he threaten you because you wouldn't kiss him and said he would hurt himself or you and your child?
He did.
So he not only threatened you, he threatened your child.
He did.
Do you think I was in my right mind when I said these things?
I don't know. I'm asking you because you said I black out sometimes.
I blacked out once.
You said
And that
you
was
hit her
during
and
the-
choked her and you blacked out. You don't even remember because you blacked out.
Don't remember putting my hands on her until it was said and done.
You said you attacked her once because you were too stressed at your job as a manager at a pizza
I put in
place.
40 hours over the weekend. No sleep whatsoever. I'm leaving the pizza shop at 3, getting there at 9. When you get off work, doesn't it take a couple hours to kind of wind down? Then it takes a couple hours to get ready for work. So where's my nap at?
Are you defending your actions?
I'm not defending the actions. The actions were wrong, and I can't be more sorry about it. And I can't say sorry
Because it
enough
sounds to
for
me
it.
like you're saying, hey, what do you expect? I was stressed out.
It was just a situation that I had no real control over.
Well, if you don't have control over it, then you shouldn't be around this woman and child.
This was a year ago. I went through anger management. I've sat in jail for 90 days.
You've gotten your anger under control.
I've got it more under control now than I ever have.
I am homeless.
Good morning, Daddy.
For the last month and a half, I was living in a tent in my friend's backyard. I'm not now. I have abused marijuana. I use marijuana in my own medical life. I can't get a job right now because I have marijuana in my system. Everywhere that I want to apply for requires to have clean pee. I don't really receive money. Katie helps me out when she can. I don't want to speak to Grace because I literally can't stand her. She will judge me and has judged me since the day she's met me. She chased me down the street screaming that I'm a homeless hobo that doesn't have a job and is never going to be a great father to any of my kids. I told her to not speak to me, don't touch me, get out of my face. I'm leaving the situation. She grabbed my shoulder and I told her, get out of my face, you stupid. She's a materialistic. She really is.
Didn't you tell us, and I quote, that you would like to punch her and her in the throat?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to, but I'm not going to put that way there. I'm not going to put that in action.
How do I know you put it in action with her?
You said she is the and you would like to punch her in the throat.
Yes, I've said it.
And you wonder why I won't let you into my house? Why I don't want you around the baby?
I've never been liked ever since you put eyes on me.
That Grace is a and Tara should help raise my son.
I've never said she should.
Okay, well, maybe you misspoke.
We should be a team. Why can't we be a team?
So you do think she should help raise your son?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
You think she shouldn't help raise
Why
your
can't
son?
she just be a mother and a grandmother and help out?
I can't be a grandmother because I'm a mother. I'm raising your child.
How about I fix this right now? I'll take the kids and I'll go live in the van. Better?
Well, then that's fine if that's what you want to do, because I know Ray will call Children's Services and so will I. We will get custody
Good
of
luck
the
finding
baby.
me.
Well, joining us on Polycom is Katie's ex-husband, Ray, who you just referenced, who claims Katie used to invite strange men into their home while their daughter was there. Ray, thank you for joining us, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Ray, you've been listening to everything that's been going on. So tell us what your take on this is and how you feel about the safety and welfare of the daughter that you have with Katie.
It's a disaster, really. I've had issues with her crying to me, asking the same question she asked Grace, as far as why does mom spend more time with Doug than I do? She's come to me crying, thinking that there's nobody at home at the house. She says mom's left her, and she doesn't know where she's at or where she's coming back.
I've never left her.
Left her there alone?
Well, she believes she was left there alone.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, she has Tara and Grace there still in the house, but obviously that's not who she was looking for.
What's your intention with regard to custody here?
Well, we had made an agreement that she would talk to you, get your opinion, and if she did not, we would move forward, and I would file for custody 100%.
So you want to see what happened to make you feel that you don't need to move for full custody here?
If she will follow her goals and moving forward, if she will become an upstanding mother and get through college, get that job that she's always talked about wanting, that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see her spending more time with the kids and not leaving them behind with Grace or Tara. I really would like to see her be the mother that she can be.
Okay, well, I want you to stay with us here. Don't go away. We're going to take a break, and I've got some hard questions here. I'm going to put some verbs in my sentences about what's going to happen or not happen here, because you're saying college can take 4 years, and this child's life is going to take a very distinct direction long before that takes place. So I'm real curious what everybody has to say in response to some very specific questions here. Coming up, Katie offered to give up custody of her daughter before. Is she willing to do that now? I'm going to ask her about that next. Well, Grace and Tara claim Katie's disregard for her own well-being has put her children's lives at risk. I look at this situation, you as a single mother, you're working and generating income, and that's a real plus. You're obviously a very intelligent woman, so you have that going for you. It sounds to me that you're active on drugs that are illegal in the state that you live in. You're involved with a man that went straight to jail on 2 occasions, once for 90 days and once for 9 days, but yet he's still in the presence of the children. He's not working. He's living in your car and waiting for you while you do work. He says he's addicted to an illicit drug. He's living in a tent or a car. I know that the likelihood of abuse with a non-biological male living with a child is 33 times normal.
He is the biological father.
Of one.
Of one.
Not the other.
Correct.
So that is a high risk factor. And I can tell you that this situation appears to me to be a fairly high risk situation that requires some change. If you didn't have this support system in your life right now, I would personally call Child Protective Services and tell them that I believe they needed to remove this child from this situation. You have resources here that keep you
Absolutely, I
from
do.
losing your children.
Absolutely, I do. And I know that I would not be where I am without either one of them.
Well, what you might want to do is 3 things. You might want to, A, climb down off your high horse, B, stop being so sanctimonious and self-righteous, and C, take that chip off your shoulder and figure out what you can do. Figure out what you can do to give your children the best possible chance to flourish that they can have. And if you want to be in this equation, then you need to get yourself straightened up. You're unemployed, living in a car, and violent. That, to me, is just pretty much the criteria for kicking your dead ass to the curb. So, you haven't had help. I'm willing to get you that help. I'm willing to get you that help. I will arrange to get you the help that you need. Stand up, Anthony. Anthony Haskins is our resource director. And to date, we have provided over $29 million in resources for people that have been here. And Anthony, I would like for you to sit down with these folks after the show, and I would like for you to talk to them. I don't know, Doug may need to be directly into rehab. I think we absolutely need family counselors to be brought in here. I think we need to have some type of co-parenting plan to involve Ray here and Katie to make sure that something is happening here where we know there is consistency. I think we need to have these resources employed here so we have a strategy other than hitting each other in the throat. My next guest has a serious health condition that I can totally relate to. Why? Because I have it too. I'll explain after the break. My next guest and I have something very serious in common. Type 2 diabetes. I was diagnosed over 25 years ago. 56-year-old Andre just 3 months ago. Now, Andre says he's always been a healthy eater and is very active as a fire department captain. So learning he has type 2 diabetes was, quote, a slap in the face. Take a look.
Division 2 is clear. You have another assignment. I remembered I'd come home from work. My wife said my body appearance had changed. When I went to the hospital, the doctor told me that my blood sugar was much higher than it should be. In July 2016, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Fire department captain speaking. I'm a firefighter, captain, and paramedic. It is a demanding job. In my line of work, we have a mandatory exercise program. I eat a very healthy diet, and I have a strict exercise regime that involves cardio, core work, and yoga.
What did you eat at the firehouse?
My wife, Keisha, she's more strict than I am. I had to change my diet to eat more proteins. I started exercising more than before. I'm concerned about what it would take to fully manage my condition. I want to live, but I have type 2 diabetes for the rest of my life.
Well, Andre is joining me along with Dr. Pamela Kushner, who has spent 2 decades working with people who have diabetes and is also a good friend of mine. So welcome. Glad to have you both here. So, Andre, as an active firefighter, did you ever think in your wildest dreams you would be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes?
Never. As a firefighter, I have to remain physically fit.
I would think so. So what was your initial reaction when you got your diagnosis?
I was stunned. I've always eaten healthy. I exercise. This is impossible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I guess your mind soon turns to what I got to do. How do I manage this, right?
Correct.
Dr. Kushner, what is Andre's best strategy for his type 2 diabetes?
So first of all, let's recognize the fact that type 2 diabetes is a manageable condition. And one of the other things you need to remember is there's a lot of misinformation out there, and there is no easy fix.
Well, let's talk risk factors.
There are a lot of risk factors for type 2 diabetes, and the ones that I talk about commonly with my patients are not being on a healthy diet, not getting enough regular exercise, smoking, none of which Andre does, race, age, a family history of type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. These are some of the risk factors that are commonly seen in type 2 diabetes.
And have you had to make any lifestyle changes?
Yes, sir. I have exercised even more. I eat even healthier. I have to watch my carbohydrate and sugar intake, and it's hard.
Yeah, believe me, I know. I've been at this for over 25 years, and I had to really change the way I ate, because for me it was like feast or famine. Plus, I put together a great support system, and it began with my wife, Robin. She learned what my challenges were and what she could do to help me stick to my treatment plan. And it takes a full treatment team to get the right balance of diet and exercise, and in some situations, medication. So you have to talk to your doctor about what treatment is right for you.
You're exactly right, Dr. Phil. That what's unique about type 2 diabetes is that this condition is really individualized for each patient. And so it's important to work with your doctor to come up with the right treatment goal and plan that is customized just for you. And you are not alone, Andre. There are 28 million Americans that have type 2 diabetes in the United States and 86 million that are at risk for developing it. But what's interesting to me is the fact that the physical barriers are often well recognized, but people really don't realize the psychological barriers that can make it difficult for someone to stay on a treatment plan.
Yeah, and I have a unique perspective on this psychological stuff, and I did the research and understood the condition when I got it. That's why I got inspired, and I partnered with AstraZeneca for what we call the On It movement to help people with type 2 diabetes create a plan and stick to it. And as part of that movement, I have 6 rules to get on it and stay on a healthy plan. And one is move forward. And what that means is know that the disease is not your fault. And 2 is get educated, because knowledge is power. 3 is build a team to help manage the disease. 4 is you replace bad habits. And then 5, make a plan with the help from your healthcare professional and your treatment team. And then 6, stick with it. I mean, you can really be empowered by your plan.
And I want to emphasize, Dr. Phil, that if you have type 2 diabetes like Dr. Phil, then staying on it really means working with your physician to come up with the best treatment goal and plan that works perfectly for you. And that usually will involve a healthy diet, regular physical activity, and medication.
Okay, you going to look up this 6-part plan I was talking about?
Yes, sir.
You going to stick with it?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to check on you.
All right.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. Like Andre, take a positive step forward in managing your type 2 diabetes. Now, visit onitmovement.com today. Thank you for being here, Doc.
My
I really
pleasure.
appreciate it. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Origins Behavioral Healthcare. For more information on today's show, be sure to visit drphil.com. We'll see you next time. Andre, thanks so much. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Just obsessive.
My sister has hundreds of wigs. Everything is you. It's obvious. You cannot stand me. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't be here.
Now.
You have verbally abused me for 10 years.
How dare you, Mom? How dare you?
The face-off with her family.
Mom! Stop!
You need to sit down and listen to your daughter.
This child has been given everything by me.
If you walk off this stage, our relationship is done.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things. Stand by, Dr. Phil. I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction. In 5, 4. I am not giving up on you. Go, Dr. Phil. Okay, I want you to take a look at this family. Beautiful family, right? Perfect in every way. Beautiful parents, gorgeous children. Well, who would believe what one of them has been diagnosed with over 70 medical and mental health conditions, has ritualistic obsession, and barely gets out of bed for more than 2 hours a day? Which family member are we talking about? Well, we're talking about 43-year-old Shamita. Her sister Dana wrote the show saying that Shamita's illnesses are destroying this entire family. She says the Shamita saga is ridiculous, and it just needs to come to an end.
My sister Shamita is destroying our family. Shamita's illnesses cause chaos in our family because she's always sick. There's never a break. There's always something wrong with my sister. My sister has been diagnosed with bipolar, OCD, depression, anxiety, pulmonary disease, cystitis, a blood clotting neuropathy, dysmorphia, lupus. My sister is a hypochondriac. When she does go into the doctor and they say maybe this is leukemia, she gets excited. I almost feel like she wants to have cancer. Shamita uses her illnesses to get attention. If we go out to lunch and somebody says, "Hi, how are you doing today?" My sister would say, "I've been very ill. I was just in the hospital." These are strangers. My sister is always pill popping.
I'm so nervous. I need to take a Xanax really bad.
We'll go out to eat. She'll pull out this huge pill box to get that reaction of, "You take all that medicine?" And of course, my family, we're just like, she's so doped up on these medications, she can't function. She'll take her sleeping medication in the morning. She now is sleeping all day and up all night. My husband and I have always been very worried about Shamita's kids because they don't have a mom. The kids have had to take care of themselves. She's very OCD. She's obsessively cleaning. The house is over-decorated. There's animal print everywhere. Every wall space is used with family photos. My sister has hundreds of wigs, just rows and rows of wigs.
I don't know. I don't think I really like this one.
Now it's Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty has exploded in her house. She has her grown husband sleeping in a Hello Kitty comforter. That's not normal. She's not living. She's 43, and it looks like she's a feeble old lady. I think my sister is severely miserable in her life. I do think she gets a payoff from it because she gets attention, but at the same time, it's killing her. I don't know how much longer she can survive this.
Okay, Dana, you have two concerns. One is for your sister. Absolutely. Just as an individual, and then you say it's destroying the family as well.
My sister's illnesses are consuming our lives. It's destroying our family. We don't know what to do anymore.
You think she's a hypochondriac or whatever term y'all put on it?
Absolutely. We don't know what's legitimate, there's so much. From the OCD to the bipolar, dysmorphia. It's so much. It's so frustrating. What's real? What's not real? We don't know.
And you've been trying to figure this out for like 15 years.
Oh my God.
Was she always this way?
No.
When
Not always.
did it start? Can you look back and identify a date, a time, an event, a period where, bang, this went over the cliff?
I think, my sister has been through one traumatic event after another in her life. We've had domestic violence in our family. She was raped in college, and I think that was a big start of all of this.
Okay, and those are real. Those aren't imagined. There was chaos
happened.
and violence in the family.
Yes.
She was, I believe, date raped.
She was date raped, absolutely.
In college.
Yes.
And you don't doubt that took place.
No, that absolutely happened.
Okay, so you know that to be true. So she's had these stressors in her life, and you think that has triggered this?
Right, because I don't think it's ever been dealt with.
And then she uses her illnesses as an excuse for bad behavior, right?
She uses it as a crutch, as an excuse.
Like what bad behaviors? What is she doing besides blowing up the house with Hello Kitty and is sleeping all day.
Right. The obsessiveness is definitely there, but she did have an affair, and I think she uses bipolar as an excuse for that, of making bad decisions.
Let's learn a little bit more about her. Dana says a lot of these illnesses are in Shamita's head, but Shamita says, no. I know pain when I feel it, and I am really in pain. She says she's just living in a hell, and she's having to do it by herself because her family just doesn't support her. Take a look.
The most hurtful thing my sister has said is that if I was not her sister, she would not even be friends with me. I don't know how my sister can say that I've torn the family apart. When I found out that I was ill, I felt like a failure, worthless. I felt like I had let my family down. My family does not believe my ailments to be 100% true. I just wish that I would die in my sleep so that I would not be a burden to my family anymore. I am in excruciating pain, 24 hours a day. I was diagnosed with bipolar depression, anxiety, PTSD, ADHD, OCD, salmonella, hydrodistension, endometriosis, pulmonary embolism. I take Ambien late at night, so I sleep all day.
You fell asleep on the toilet.
I don't remember.
I know. Those are the things that scare me.
I used to work graveyard shifts, so my doctor says I have shift work disorder. Presently, I have 5 active doctors, but in the past 12 months, I've seen approximately 35 doctors. I swallow all these at one shot. People think I like this box. It's not a brag box. I'm so offended that people think that this is a brag box. The current things that are really life-threatening are my abdominal issues. I go 18 days without going to the bathroom.
Did you take the new medication to make you go?
Mm-hmm.
No result.
No result. I feel like I'm carrying 2 alien babies in my stomach. My lupus, all my teeth are rotting to where I need to have all my teeth replaced. My organs are falling apart, and nobody will believe me. I've accepted I'm a disabled person. No one else has.
Oh, okay, now she's going to join us in just a second, but is that fairly typical of her?
Yes,
Because I got to tell you, she's high as a kite
absolutely.
in that tape. She's slurring her words.
Right.
She's in a daze there.
Right, and all of our phone calls are that way to where you can't understand her.
Your sister Shamita missed 3 flights
I just found that out.
trying to get here to the show.
That's part of the drama, the attention.
Yeah. All right, so Shamita, come on out. Shamita, Dr. Phil, have a seat right here if you would. So, Shamita, tell me why you're emotional right now.
Well, I'm very blessed to see you. I've been watching you for so long, and I probably on my own would have reached out to you for help for myself. But I just kind of stopped caring really about me a long time ago. And I'm crying right now because circumstances have changed. Because I sadly found the letter that my sister wrote about me to your show, and it hurt me so badly.
It hurt you that she wrote?
Yeah, because she lied to me. She read to me the letter she said she was sending you, and I was totally happy and thrilled that she loved me enough to send you a letter. It's the first time she's ever paid any interest in my illness. But the letter that I found that she left accidentally on my computer was a 12-page letter of how she feels about me And it was so hurtful.
12-page letter she wrote to me? I didn't get a 12-page letter.
No, there's no 12-page letter. I think she's talking about my pre-interview that was emailed to me.
Oh, okay. We did interview her and ask her, just like we did you. We asked her a lot of questions.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever it was, I kind of already knew for years that she's had feelings about me, and I guess it just confirmed that I was right all along.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm now confused. Are you glad you're here or not glad you're here?
I want to be here because I need the help because I'm very, very sick and I need my family. I'm hoping that you could try to help my family understand my diagnosis is. I don't understand why they don't believe doctors' diagnoses.
Well, you have a lot. In the past 10 years, you've had acute bronchitis, acute gastritis, you got allergy, anxiety, ADHD, predominantly inattentive type, autoimmune disorder, bipolar, bladder infections, blood coagulation disorder, body dysmorphia, bypass complications. I mean, in fact, you've got 72 diagnoses in the last 10 years. And you gave them to us, and so I listed them here so we would have them. Does that seem right to you? Does it seem reasonable to you?
No, but when the doctor runs the blood tests on me, that's what I'm just giving you what the doctors at the hospital give me.
Right. Do you think that you're on death's door? Do you think you just have a chronic situation you're going to have to struggle with for the rest of your life? What do you think?
I've been struggling for 10 years. Ever since I had my gastric bypass, I think I made a poor decision by doing it. And I was never a sick person before.
Okay, in terms of your general condition, how much of your impairment would you consider to be psychological in nature?
Are you meaning, do you feel that I'm having sicknesses because of psychological issues?
No, I mean exactly what I said. I mean, in your opinion, in terms of your overall health, functioning, adaptability, coping skills, energies, wellness, sickness, whatever, how much of it, if any, do you think is psychological in nature?
Maybe 30%.
Do you think that you're medicated to the point that it puts you in kind of a fuzzy zone?
When I first was diagnosed,
like today?
No, because I'm not on but one antidepressant.
Shamita, you're slurring your words.
I'm slurring my words because I'm very upset.
But you sound like this all the time. Every conversation, you're slurring your words. You sound medicated 24/7.
I'm very weak. I was diagnosed with lupus, systemic lupus, just a few weeks ago.
Right.
And the doctor told me I needed to have a transfusion right away because my blood cell count is very bad.
How'd that go for you, the transfusion?
They told me that it has only been tested in white Caucasian females. He said that
So you didn't get the transfusion?
I could not get it. Of course, I'm going to be the way I am right now because I'm weak.
Yeah, well, I'm just asking your assessment. I'll give you mine before we're done. I'm just asking what you think. Do you think that you're 100% focused and sharp, or do you think you're a little fuzzy?
I'm definitely not focused and sharp. I can't be.
Okay.
Not when you haven't been to the bathroom in 18 days.
Okay.
I don't think anyone could be if they have that issue going on. Burning urination. I mean, lupus, all chronic fatigue. You know, every day of life, and then having people tell you that I'm supposed to give it to God and be healed in Jesus' name. Well, I'm there every Wednesday, every Sunday, saying, Lord, please heal me.
Do you think I can be of some help to you today?
I'm hoping. I was hoping because you're Dr. Phil.
I am Dr. Phil. It's
I know, it's your show.
written all over the wall.
I know, I watch you every day.
That's good. I'm glad.
I'm very isolated, so you're my friend.
Yeah. Did you miss 3 flights? So I've had over 10,000 guests. You're the only one to ever miss 3 flights.
My husband was totally in charge of that.
I'm asking you these questions as kind of a test, frankly, because I'm trying to assess your level of insight, how able and willing you are to look at and see yourself in a realistic and objective way.
Well, I'm sure I was blamed. I'm usually blamed for everything in my family, always. So, but I wasn't given. You know, he knows that he has to wake me up because I don't sleep. I don't go to bed till 5 in the morning.
But you choose that.
No, I do not choose that, Dana.
Well, you actually
I stay
told
up
us
and go to the bathroom.
you actually told us that you chose that.
After a while, I worked 21 years in the airline industry. I worked graveyard shift.
But you told us that you wait until very late to take your sleeping medication because being up during the day, as miserable and in pain as you are, makes for a very long day, so you'd rather just sleep through it. That's what you told us.
There's 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons.
Well, would that be one
I
of
work the graveyard shift. Eric has worked the graveyard shift. That's not an excuse.
Do you suffer from depression and abandonment and loneliness? You've been raped?
No.
Have you walked in my shoes, Dana?
I haven't, Shamita.
Okay.
I haven't.
So then don't compare me to you and Eric.
Is she irritating you right now?
Yes, because I'm just seeing the words on the paper saying that if we were not sisters, that she would not even be my friend. And we have grown up, and our parents are in the ministry, and we have been in church our whole life. And you wouldn't even be my friend if I wasn't your sister. Oh my God.
Shamita, I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
I know I said it. I didn't say it to hurt you. I just was saying it because we are so different. We're so different. That's why I said it.
Love me as a sister?
I do love you. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have written in. If I didn't love you, I don't know how else to prove it.
She believes that you have some physical issues. I mean, she does. She told us that. She says, you know, some of this is for sure, but she says she feels like it's kind of taken you over and become your identity.
It's all you live.
She said, that it's just become your identity. She said, I almost feel like she wants cancer. I almost feels like she wants to be sick. She tells everybody she's sick. She said, we go to the store, we can just walk past somebody on the sidewalk and she'll start telling them how sick she is. That you've become obsessed with it. Is that possibly true? Has it consumed you?
It consumes my life because I'm at the doctor 4 out of 5 days a week, every week of my life. Yeah. It took away my livelihood. It took away my joy of 21 years at my career, something that I was good at. So, I mean, it does. It consumes your life.
She's concerned that you're so consumed with it that you basically don't have anything left for your kids.
Well, I think that my children will tell you different, except for my daughter, who decided to go live with my sister and is very influenced by my sister.
All right, well, let's take a break. Next, Shamita asked for a glass of wine before the show. And I want to talk about why she was upset with her friend for taking up all the time in the makeup chair. These are just issues I don't usually talk about, but we're going to talk about them.
For at least the past 15 years, I feel like Shamita's illnesses have affected our lives. My family is always fighting because we don't know what to do.
I can't do it right now. I'm trying to not hurl over.
We don't know how to help Shamita. There's never a solution to fix my sister. There's never a break. There's always something wrong with my sister. It's exhausting.
Why were you upset with Kim?
Because I brought her here because she's a wonderful friend. She's a great supporter of me, but she was running late this morning, and I felt like she was she was making your staff upset, and it upset me, and I got in a panic.
I don't even know why Kim's here.
You're Kim, right?
Right.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
And
I'm glad you're here, by the way. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here.
And I knew that would be the result.
And you this morning you got upset with Kim because she got all the attention in the makeup chair.
No, that I did not get ready. I didn't get any time to get myself prepared. I felt I looked horrible. And they did tell me that they ran out of time to be able to do my hair.
You told the producer that Kim was being selfish by doing what she was doing.
By not allowing me to have time to get ready. She was making me more nervous.
You both look very nice.
Thank you.
I think.
I still don't understand why she's here, though. You say she's your supporter, like y'all have been friends for so many years, but I mean, there was a time where y'all weren't even speaking to each other. And then all of a sudden, y'all are friends again. I don't understand why she's here.
We've been friends for 9+ years.
Kim, what's your understanding about why you're here?
Well, Shamita asked me to come mostly for moral support, but also as someone that's been there from the outside looking in all this time, not actually being in the family.
Did you give Kim some of your medication this morning?
Did I give Kim some
of your medication this morning?
No, I put some of my medication in her box, and then I got it out before I left the room.
Why would you do that?
Is this your medication box?
Yes, that's what I live on.
Yeah. And you put some of your medications in here?
Yeah, because
This
her and
box
I are on one
terrifies me.
medication that's the same.
You guys,
Because she takes it with her everywhere.
Did you take anti-anxiety meds this morning?
no, I wanted to, but they took my box. They said you wanted my box.
I wanted to see this.
Because I was having a panic attack.
What is it you want her to do to make you happy? What could she do to make you happy?
I've written her 3 or 4 letters over the year that she's never responded to. Now I have my answer of how you feel about me.
Did she say it was offensive to you?
I'm ruining my entire family's life. That my son left because he couldn't handle me. My daughter left for the same reason.
Is that true?
My son said she's full of it.
We have 2 sons.
Yes.
Which one are we talking about, Sebastian or
Yes.
Sage?
Sebastian. And Sage is very upset with her.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is because of the things that you've probably told him.
No.
All right,
Things that I don't
let's just get it out here, sisters. So what is it you're concerned about with her? What's the bottom line? I mean, this is not the time to mince words. What do you think's going on here?
She is destroying our family. Everything is about her. Anytime we get together, it's about her. It's always about her. She has not been there for the kids. My parents and my husband and I have helped raise those kids. And I know that's going to piss her off.
But you think she's neglected the children because she's so focused on herself?
And those are Sebastian's words. He has been emotionally been there for you since the age of 13. And to say that you and Sebastian have had a great relationship and he only left at the age of 18 because it was just time to move on, Shamita, that is not true. Nobody can handle it anymore.
He says what he has to say to please you because you hold it against him.
No, I think he says what he has to say to please you.
You think that she's not physically as sick as she thinks she is, correct?
No.
You don't deny that she has some physical complications, as many people do.
Absolutely.
Along the way.
Nobody has 72.
But you think she's blown this way out of proportion?
Yes.
I don't.
For years.
72. Have you taken one day of your life to go to any of my appointments? If you had?
I haven't, Shamita, because I can't take it anymore. I have distanced myself from this family because it's always about you, and I can't take it anymore. Everything is you, everything. And I understand why Mom and Dad have been there for you. I get it, because you need it. You need help.
So, and you don't think you do?
God knows I need help because I don't know what to do anymore.
Mom and I and Dad and I were talking about this. It's obvious. You cannot stand me because I can't
stand this, Shamita.
Because I can't help.
My old sister back.
I can't help that I'm 6 years old, was born 6 years before you, and you hate me for it.
I have no idea what that's about.
It's not funny. It's not. She resents me because she made a comment the other day that she came in after me and ruined my mom and dad's little family. It was just me, my mom, and my dad. And she has resented me our whole life.
Is she possibly right?
Oh, you just pissed her off.
What?
Oh, you just pissed her off.
Possibly right about what?
That you are not as sick as you believe you are. That you...
Dr. Phil, I would love to not be sick. If anyone would want to live in hell to where they cannot have a bowel movement for 18 days and be in that kind of pain, why would, I know you're a very educated man. Why would I want to make these things up? I'm in horrible pain.
Oh, well, let me answer that.
I'm in so much pain.
No.
I would rather just shoot me now so I don't ruin the family.
Well, that's one option, but how about, if that's true, how about we take a better option, which is if there's a possibility to get a return to health for you? What if there's a return to health for you? What if we could do that?
That's what I've been searching for. But since nobody believes I'm sick, I cannot believe this. Why am I $30,000 in debt in medical fees?
Eye contact with me. I believe you are sick.
Right.
I believe you are sick. I believe you have physiological anomalies and ailments, and I think you have psychological anomalies and ailments. And I think that, see, people misunderstand hypochondriac. They think you're a hypochondriac, right? I mean, that's what you said. You think she's a hypochondriac. Family members have said that. And, you know, there's kind of a new term for that now. This is a somatic symptom disorder, and I want you to read this. Very high levels of worry about illness and tendency to appraise symptoms as unduly threatening, harmful, and often think the worst about their health. Also, one or more distressing and significantly disruptive somatic symptoms present. Okay? Now, let's think about that for just a second, okay? Take a look at that Very high levels of worry about illness, so definitely true there, correct? And tendency to appraise symptoms as unduly threatening, which means you tend to overinterpret or overreact to the symptoms, that you exaggerate them in some way, in your own mind.
No, I don't feel though.
Okay, well, often think the worst about their health. True? You think the worst about your health?
Over the last few years, yes, because
Okay,
I've gotten
so that would be
scary
yes.
diagnoses.
And also one or more distressing and significantly disruptive somatic symptoms. So a physical symptom, one or more that is actually distressing to you. Like you haven't been in the bathroom for 18 days. That would be a somatic symptom. It would be distressing to you, right?
No, because it's just not normal. I mean, at my age,
Right.
the doctors say that's
So
not
it
normal.
seems that a lot of this would apply to you. The only thing that you would disagree with is that you overinterpret symptoms or think they're unduly threatening. Here are a few of the characteristics. I just want you to consider this. Distress or disruption of daily life due to one or more somatic symptoms. So is your daily life disrupted?
My whole life has been disrupted.
You just said, I keep this room bright and cheery because I'm in here 15, 20 hours a day, right? I live in this room. I even have my Hello Kitty microwave in here so I don't have to go into the kitchen to prepare meals.
Yeah, because I'm too fatigued to even want to get out of my room.
Yeah, too fatigued to even want to go to your room. Disproportionate and persistent thoughts about the seriousness of one's symptoms.
Yeah, I think.
I would check that one off for you. Persistently high levels of anxiety about health or symptoms, right? Excessive time and energy devoted to these symptoms or health concerns.
Yes.
I mean, you say you go to doctors 4 or 5 days a week. You've got a box of pills that are huge. You take a lot of medications. Shamita has been prescribed over 80 medications. Over 80 medications. I don't wonder that.
I don't understand why these people are laughing.
They're laughing at it's a shock aspect. It's a shock aspect.
It's a shock to me. The doctors are the ones giving you these medications and saying you need to take these because you're sick, and if you don't take these, you're not going to get better.
Wow, that's a lot of medications.
Well,
And that kind of taking that many different medications in that concentrated fashion across a period of time can definitely disrupt the homeostasis of your body. It can get you out of balance and make you sick. The current ones you're taking are on the screen now. So that's the list you gave us, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, that's a lot of medication to be taken, and some of them work at cross purposes.
Yeah, but
Some are up and some are down.
Well, that's our frustration, is who's talking to who? Is she being honest with all the doctors? Like, this does not seem normal.
Okay, do you know what diagnoses I have?
No, yeah, you gave us everything. I have everything. 140 pages of medical stuff that you gave us. So yes, I know the diagnoses.
So
we also had, you gave your psychiatrist permission to give us your history as well. So he's very helpful and forthcoming. So, yeah.
And, you know, I have had 15 surgeries, and I mean, I would say the biggest fear is when I had the pulmonary embolism. Since then, nothing has been right. They said, my heart doctor said, from my age, 40, I was 40, to be in a room full of people that were in their 70s, he said it was a miracle that I was alive.
Well, I'm so glad that they found it and that you've been treated for it.
So I've been very scared since then, and so many things have happened since then.
But my question to you is, do you think this has gotten a grip on you to the point that you have stopped being Shamita and started being a patient? Has your identity become a sick person?
Yes.
Has your identity become a patient and not a mother, a sister, a friend, someone that has just become consumed by your medical history and activity?
I live every day only for my children.
But you're not living, Shamita.
Shamita is convinced that her family doesn't care about her and she is all alone in her living hell. She also accuses her sister Dana of betraying her. Well, tomorrow we're going to meet the rest of the family and hear what they have to say about Shamita and all of her problems.
Next time on Dr. Phil.
This woman is addicted to being sick.
Is she a hypochondriac?
You stay in a room for 20 hours a day eating out of a Hello Kitty microwave.
Craving attention?
Do you see how everyone's taking care of you? How you're loving this?
You had verbally abused me.
How dare you, Mom?
You need to sit down and listen to your daughter.
This child has been given everything by me.
If you walk off this stage, our relationship is done.
That's next time on Dr. Phil.
You don't want to miss that. I want to thank all of my guests. Go to drphil.com and let us know what you think. So long.
She hates me, she loves me, she doesn't want me.
Tell me what you think and feel. Don't tell me what she thinks and feels. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. My guests today say their daughter fought in Iraq. You have all heard me say what huge respect I have for the men and women who serve our country's armed forces. But parents Bill and Marlena say their Marine daughter is now home from the war and fighting a losing battle with drugs. Now, Mom and Dad say that during her first tour of duty, Courtney was severely injured and after surgery became hooked on prescription pain pills, and that led to what they say was an addiction to heroin. Now, Bill and Marlena now say their once happy and proud daughter is an angry, volatile addict who is headed to an early grave if she can't conquer her demons and conquer them soon, because this is unwinding fast. Take a look.
I'm ready to jump off the merry-go-round of insanity. I am at my wit's end, and I don't know what to do anymore to help her. My daughter, Courtney, joined the Marine Corps after 9/11, proudly serving her country. When she got out of the Marine Corps is when things went amok. Her addiction started with opiates because she had shoulder damage from being in the Marine Corps.
When she was in Iraq, Courtney started using pain medicines. Courtney had a problem after a while getting prescription pain medicine from her doctors, so she eventually turned to heroin. The problem is her mother and I can't get on the same page on what should be done. It's been going on for way too long. Courtney's been to detox at least 8 times, but she keeps slipping back into the same pattern.
Courtney was a very happy, energetic, and fun-filled child. She did a little modeling. I just keep thinking of 9 years of this craziness. This is really the end of the road for you. I know her body will always crave it because heroin is such a wicked drug. What breaks me more than anything is she's got track lines all up her arms and on her legs.
The sad thing is, Courtney, she went from being an outgoing, funny, beautiful girl to someone who is so volatile. She's just a complete nightmare.
There's so many layers of why she's doing drugs, and I get that.
I want my daughter to stop doing drugs. This is our last chances to reach out and save our daughter.
I don't know how much longer she has on this earth.
Well, Bill has an opinion here, and he says Marlena is an enabler who is standing in the way of Courtney's recovery. Marlena says she cannot turn her back on Courtney the way Bill has.
I believe Courtney cannot get better because Marlena enables her.
I do not like the word enable. Bill has not been around, so he cannot judge me. Bill and I separated when Courtney was 6 months.
My relationship with Courtney is distant.
It is very difficult to communicate with Bill about our daughter, Courtney. I'm torn between helping Courtney and him saying I should be doing it in another way.
Marlena wants to blame everybody else for Courtney's problems. It always seems like it's somebody else's fault.
Okay, I'm starting with the two of you without Courtney here, and Courtney is not watching right now. She's not listening because I want to talk about her. I want to talk about her candidly. You say that Marlena is enabling her, that she does everything for Courtney, that she takes her to get drugs, she gives her money, that she does things that keep Courtney from having to stand up and stand on her own 2 feet and do what she needs to do. Is that a fair summary?
That's a fair summary, yes.
Okay. Take your own inventory. Is he right?
As far as getting the drugs and everything, but it wasn't like I was handing out, here you go, here you go, here you go. I mean, I fought it a lot.
But you have given her money when you knew she was going to spend it on drugs.
I gave it to her because she would make up stories and say the drug dealer's
That's
coming.
not-
I know that. I
Look,
am
come on.
totally guilty
That is
of it.
not an essay question.
I know.
That is
Dr.
not an
Phil.
essay question.
I know.
Look,
I know.
Look
I
at me.
know that.
No,
I
look
know.
at me.
I
You
know.
have given her money when
Yes.
you knew she was going to spend it on drugs.
Not on heroin, but drugs. Yes, drugs. Yes, for giving it to her. Yes, I enabled
Have you
her.
driven her to parts of town where you,
Yes.
in fact, were scared
Yes.
for your own
But
safety?
I didn't know it at the time. Yes,
I'm
I
not
should've
sure I
done.
even want you out here when she comes out here if you are deluding yourself in this way. You know you have driven her to parts of town to see drug dealers. She gets out of your car, gets in another car, gets back in your car, and leaves.
I'm.
What do you think she was doing in there? Playing dominoes?
No, she got drugs. Yes.
And you knew that. You took her to a drug deal.
Yes, it's sick, isn't it?
She's getting poison and you're driving her to pick it up.
I know, and that's why I stopped doing it. And shame on me.
Well, you did the best you could at the time.
That was.
Look, I'm not here to throw you under the bus. I'm
No,
not
I
saying you
know.
wouldn't fit nicely, but I'm not here to throw you under the bus. You did what you did at the time, but we're here now. You got to have a different mindset at this point. You're going to bury your daughter if you don't stop doing what you're doing.
I'm sorry.
And you're quick to take her inventory. You're quick to take her inventory, and you have lots of advice for your daughter and lots of criticism for your ex-wife. But if you're so smart, why haven't you got this all figured out?
I didn't really know what to do. I mean, I have advice for Courtney, and we need to do this and this, but I can't make her do it.
Well, she tells us you think you're Dr. Phil and you're just full of advice, and she doesn't listen to a damn bit of it, but you take her inventory all the time.
And correct about that, yes. I am someone who, you know, again, I try to reach Courtney all different ways. I wrote to the show because I didn't know what else to do. I wanted just this, you know, the opportunity and Marlena and Courtney and to see if we can do something to help our daughter get better.
I'm just trying to help her. I mean, she was a Marine, a tough Marine, and she's not tough anymore. She's very weak. And when she's telling me drug dealers are going to beat her up and they're coming at her, it's like, oh, yeah, I did. I paid them off just to save her from being
one of the differences,
killed or whatever.
One of the
It's
differences,
easy to say when you're on your side.
right?
Bill.
One of the differences that we both have, and Courtney knows, I've said this too. Her mother wants to believe everything she says, even though she knows quite often is not. I don't believe anything she says. I'm guilty because everything she does, I blame on drugs.
But
I say
whenever
it's drugs,
she
it
says
does
something
that.
truthful, you don't even hear it or listen to, or you don't. Bill, I talk to you.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm talking to you, just coming over here, and you've got your little thing in your ear, and you're just, you know, you're in another world. Your life is a vacation. His life is a vacation.
Can we not put aside all this agenda? You think he's a know-it-all. Most common phrase from him about you was enabler, 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 enabler. Know-it-all enabler, know-it-all enabler, know-it-all enabler. Okay, so fine. We're going to find out, because Courtney's coming out here, And I don't want these two to waffle, not even a minute. We're going to meet Courtney right after the break.
I could have heroin brought to my house in one phone call. Getting heroin is easier than ordering a pizza. I can't even function until after I get high.
And later,
you can't keep doing this anymore. We're really at the end of our rope and everything, and you're at the end of your life. I really believe this is the end, Dr. Phil.
I think that Courtney played me many times, making up stories so that I would give her money. Courtney said a drug dealer was going to beat her up and was threatening her. I paid him off. I mean, what if it's all a lie? Even though she was crying, you give her some money to pay off a drug dealer and then she goes out and buys it again. How foolish.
Marlena says her beautiful former Marine daughter Courtney has lied to her and dragged her into dangerous neighborhoods.
I have a problem staying clean. Part of the reason that I use drugs is because I have issues dealing with the PTSD. My drug addiction started with the pain pills. They were for a legitimate reason. During my tour in Iraq, a mortar explosion knocked me off this 40-foot wall and I dislocated both my shoulders. When I got out of the Marines is when I started abusing the pain pills. When I couldn't get a prescription, I started using heroin. Getting heroin is easier than ordering a pizza. I could have heroin brought to my house in one phone call. Initially, I snorted it. I started injecting it. In the beginning, it feels really good. It's like having sex and winning the lottery, like at the same time. I've been to detox a lot and slipped back into my old lifestyle. I am tired of having to call my drug dealer, and I can't even function until after I get high.
Well, Courtney, I'm glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you too.
You a drug addict?
Yeah, I'm always gonna have to live with that. Like, I'm not on drugs now. I'm like newly clean.
And what were you taking?
Mostly heroin.
Until 3-4 days ago.
Like 5 days ago. Today's.
Okay, 5 days ago.
Yeah, not that long ago.
How do you go from everything that you've been described as at different phases in your life to being this wonderful, dynamic, vivacious kid to being this empowered woman in the Marines to sitting before me now addicted to heroin? What, I mean, everybody is looking at this saying, how did this go wrong?
My life has just been it has been a mess for the last several years. And I don't even think I know like what the one thing is that screwed me up. I mean, there was, the moment where, heroin was offered to me, but I was already screwed up before that. Does that make sense?
Was there a time in your life that you would have thought, I am not one of those people that would ever put a needle in my arm and shoot heroin in my veins?
Yeah, I think that every day. I told my counselor I don't even know. I mean, I know how I became this way, but it's still surreal. I cannot believe like I'm the same person. And my friends that were in the Marines with me, they don't understand it. They're like, what is wrong with you? Like, who is this person? And I don't even know. I don't know.
Take me through the first moment, the first time you put that needle in your arm. What did you think at that moment?
problems solved. No more pain, no more panic attacks, no more feeling any kind of emotion. It was like putting big Band-Aid on everything.
So you didn't think that was a low spot, you thought that was a solution?
In my mind, it's like, yeah, I knew it was a low spot, but when I initially started it, like, I started snorting it, so I was like, oh, well, you know, at least I'm not one of those people that inject it, you know, because that's really screwed up, as messed up as that thinking is, like, but just the way it made me feel, it made me think, like, well, at least I don't feel bad right now, and it just, then I became one of those people that injected it. And even though I said, oh, I'm never going to be like that, and I just kept like reaching new bottoms, bottom after bottom. I don't even know if I have a bottom, truthfully.
What is the absolute lowest point that you can think of? Be honest.
Probably when I overdosed and almost died, and I was in a coma for like 3 days, and my organs were failing. But even after I woke up, I still went out and I wanted to get high again.
Courtney says one night in particular changed her life forever, and she fears she will never be able to move past it. We're going to talk about that when we come back. When that happened, did it change you?
Yes, profoundly changed me. All the stuff I already thought about myself, like people were starting to say out loud.
And later, what are we doing that this consistently happens? It's been at least 4 times.
Well, the implication is that she's putting herself in dangerous situations, and you get what you ask for. Courtney says joining the Marines and serving her country was the best, most meaningful time of her life. But during a weekend trip with her fellow Marines, one soldier did the unthinkable and changed her life forever.
Serving in the Marines was the best and the worst time of my life. I was raped my first year in by another Marine. We had a 3-day weekend over Valentine's Day weekend. It was all guys except me and a girlfriend of mine. I wasn't drinking, but my girlfriend had been talking to this guy. He went and got her a drink. She hadn't even finished half the drink and she couldn't even stand up. At this point, the guy who ended up raping me said, "I'll help you go back to the hotel." We got her back to the hotel. He ended up coming on to me. I told him no, and he didn't listen. He was placed under arrest. He got a dishonorable discharge and was sentenced to 6 months in the brig. One time when I was in the chow hall, somebody walked up to me and dumped food all over me and called me a whore. I was really distraught. I was really depressed and withdrawn. I wouldn't even go outside because people were always talking about me. I couldn't take it. Being injured in Iraq and the rape definitely led to my drug use. It definitely did not help, that's for sure.
When that happened, did it change you?
Yes. It profoundly changed me.
In what way?
In the way of not ever being able to trust somebody again. Thinking of myself differently. Just like I'm a piece of crap, and a lot of people were saying that all the stuff I already thought about myself, like people were starting to say out loud.
Like, what did you think about yourself?
I was angry. It's just so many emotions like mixed into one. I really felt betrayed by the Marine Corps. I feel like I should have at least been offered some sort of counseling, some way to vent it out, let it out.
And y'all were aware this took place, right?
Yes. I just couldn't believe that the counseling wasn't there, and Courtney kept indicating it too. It's just, how are you getting through all this?
And it was after that you were deployed. You went to Iraq.
Shortly after that, yeah.
And how long had you been there when you got blown up? You got blown off a 40-foot wall.
Yeah. Probably 6 months, five or 6 months.
And you were on top of a wall in Baghdad?
Yes. It was my job to run telephone wire, to hook up communications for other Marines out in the field. And we just started getting incoming, like mortars being shot at us, and the next thing I know, I was getting canteen water splashed in my face, and I thought I actually got hit with shrapnel because my whole body hurt so bad, but it was actually a couple of broken ribs I had. But they ended up medevacing me to Baghdad for that.
And you had to have surgery?
Eventually, yes. I did not have surgery there, and I wasn't taken back to the United States. I stayed in Baghdad for about a month, I think, and then they sent me back. So.
But you ultimately did have surgery?
Yes, I did. 3.
And you had multiple, and then you had pain medication for that?
Yes.
That started the merry-go-round?
Yes.
Pain, seizures, PTSD from rape and war. Coming up, according to Courtney, being raped in the military isn't the only time she's been sexually abused. Bill says his daughter always seems to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and maybe that's why this keeps happening to her. Not sure what that means, but we'll find out when we come back.
Bill questions the other rapes.
I'm confused at how Courtney has managed to get herself in the same type of situation. The fact that someone has been attacked something like 4 times makes me question, how is that even possible? Either she's the unluckiest person in the world, or something is drastically wrong.
Well, Courtney says she confided in her parents about being molested as a child and then raped at least twice as an adult. Now, Marlena says Bill only believes the rape that happened in the Marines because he says it's documented and the others are not. Bill, what's the issue?
Well, what happened, I found out about what happened in the Marine Corps. And then later I found out about something that happened in high school, which I wasn't aware of, and I don't know that her mother was aware of it either until Courtney confided in her. The only thing I was aware of was another time when she was at a hot tub and someone attacked her. Now, no one really went into the details, because I'm going to be honest, as a father, it's not something you sit down and discuss with your daughter. You know, something like this is I don't want to, maybe I'm burying my head in the sand or something, but it's very, very upsetting to me. And I knew that happened late at night. And then shortly after she got out of the Marines, she came and was living with me where I live. And there was an incident 2 o'clock in the morning at a bus stop where she was attacked by somebody. And so my question, or what my concern, and I think I asked Marlena, is what are we doing that this consistently happens? It's been at least 4 times. And the point of that doesn't matter. I always say if you're someone, you're at a fraternity party and you had too many beers, that doesn't justify someone attacking you.
Well, the implication that I'm hearing you make even now is that she's putting herself in dangerous situations and you get what you ask for.
Not so much you get what you ask for, but the fact is dangerous situation and what's happening in a situation where they involved in drugs and alcohol that put her into the situation, or was she an innocent victim that just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time?
The other 2 rapes, Courtney never told them to me. And the only way that I knew them was out of her military records when they were all released. And then as I was going through some of her journals and read a little bit, she had indicated it. And then later Courtney, I asked her about it, and she did share with me what happened. And the one with the child sexual assault told her that she was going to go to hell if she told anybody. So for years she kept this inside of her, and then when she was raped in the Marine Corps, it was like everything, the shame, the guilt, the ugly, the damaged goods Courtney always says about herself and how much she hates herself, and it just, the 3 sexual abuses that she's had it really destroyed this psyche of this person inside of Courtney, and then being out of the Marine Corps and then escaping all of it, then drugs felt pretty good.
So how do you feel about all of this? I mean,
It's really uncomfortable putting such personal things out there. Kind of always, known my dad feels that way. I can't have a normal conversation with him. When I am talking to him, he just gets this spacey look on his face, and I know he's not listening to me. He's thinking about what he's going to say next, and it drives me crazy. It's like how I was interviewed earlier for the show. With him, it's like I'm always being interviewed about to go on the Dr. Phil show.
I really believe this is the end, Dr. Phil. This way is death. You've got to wake up and say, I want to live.
My relationship with Courtney is not the same. I think she doesn't like me.
Sometimes I kind of feel like my mother is delusional because she will say really hateful things and she'll say she didn't say it.
The text messages that Courtney sent me are extremely hurtful. I've never had anybody talk to me that way. She called me a moron. I do believe it's the drugs that are talking when I'm being cursed out by Courtney.
Why do the 2 of you have such a combative relationship?
I wouldn't describe our relationship as combative. I mean, honestly, if I wasn't on drugs, I don't think I would say any of the horrible things that I've said to her.
Well, I pulled up some of your text exchanges. They're pretty combative.
And recent, last week.
You had this exchange October 1st. Marlena, are you going to blank because I will literally shut you out of my life? Think before you text me your answer. What are you talking about here?
Detoxing.
Courtney, so what happens next is because of you people thinking you could just keep treating me like... Then here's one on the 7th.
I mean, there's a dynamic going on.
Okay, here's one on the 7th. Listen up, you blanking moron. Dr. Blank said I had to go, and are you aware that I'm being discharged first thing in the morning? I might need surgery, but you wouldn't give a blank, would you? You're an ugly person, you know that? That's charming. Courtney, you started screaming, oh, I knew you would pull this blank. You got to be blanking kidding me. No, I'm not taking you. Oh, you blanking jerk. But you didn't even ask what was wrong with me. I cried my eyes out.
You want me to explain that?
No, there's more.
I didn't say it.
Courtney, you're either crazy or delusional, and you are a liar. I am not lying. I think our relationship is over for now. I will not deal with this anymore. You have absolutely no shame the way you talk to me. All the names and all the years with you is beyond hurtful. Funny that you're saying that. I'm lying to make myself better because that's what you're doing. Don't text me again. You're bad for my recovery. That's why I say combative.
It's dysfunctional. And she loves and hates me. There's a love-hate relationship. She needs me, she hates me, she loves me, she doesn't want me, she wants me to stop.
Why? I'm just curious if either of you have a view as to why.
Courtney right now, Dr. Phil, is...
No, don't talk about her. Talk about you. She can talk about her. You don't need to tell me about her. You keep telling me about how she feels, what she was, when she was at her low point, how she reasoned to do heroin, what her thinking was, what she was thinking, how she reasoned it out. You're speaking for her, and unless you're a ventriloquist, I don't need you speaking for her. If you want to tell me what you think and feel, tell me what you think and feel. Don't tell me what she thinks and feels.
I don't even know what the... So you're asking me why she's talking to me this way?
No, I'm asking you why you have a combative relationship with your daughter.
I really don't.
You're giving her ultimatums. You're saying our relationship is over. This is done. You're out.
She just asked me for money, Dr. Phil. That's what was before that. $20 she was asking me. And that's why I'm saying I'm done with this. And then she started before that saying, I don't know. No, I'm not going to do it. Screw everybody. And that's why I said what I said. And then she started saying she was going to go to detox. And I'm done with it. She has to get clean of this stuff. We got to start somewhere, Courtney, because you can't keep doing this anymore. We're really at the end of our rope. And everything, and you're at the end of your life. I really believe this is the end, Dr. Phil. She can go this way or this way. This way is death, because her body is beaten to the ground, physically and emotionally, Courtney. You've got to wake up and tear off the clay on your eyes and say, I want to live. Just live a life that is just happy and peaceful. You deserve that.
Marlena says at this point she doesn't know what to do. But what she just said to her daughter were the first authentic words from her heart to her daughter that I've heard since she got here. How refreshing. Can Courtney finally push herself towards a life that gives her a chance to be who she can be? I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll be right back.
My dad thinks he's Dr. Phil, and he is always trying to fix me.
I know I drive my daughter Courtney crazy because I'm always giving her advice on what she should do and how she can fix her problems.
It's extremely irritating to me when he does this.
I use a lot of analogies with Courtney. I tell Courtney, you're like a hamster on a wheel. No matter how hard you run, you're not getting anywhere. You're staying in the same place.
It's just unsolicited advice, and it very much pisses me off.
Well, Bill says he turns his phone off at night because he's scared he's going to get the call that says his daughter is dead. Marlena says Courtney is drowning and she cannot watch anymore.
I can't. I try to grab for her, but she doesn't want to grab my hand. That's what I feel.
Why do you think I went to detox and all that?
Yes, Courtney, this is your 7th detox.
I know.
How many times do you detox and say, I don't want to do this anymore?
We go through this, and then the rest of the components don't change. The people, places, and things. I've told Courtney, I use these little things that I say to her, and she is right about a lot of things about me, because it's hard to have a normal conversation with her on the phone. If she does answer my phone calls or texts, it's usually, quite honestly, I think a lot of times she's high because she's very talkative and on the phone and friendly, but then she brings up something and it kind of puts me on that end of, hey, Courtney, why don't you try this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do something different?
Okay, well, that was then, this is now, and I want to talk to you.
That's messed up. if I'm in a good mood, can I just be in a good mood? Like, it doesn't have to mean I'm high.
You can't do heroin and then get self-righteous about people being suspicious if you're high.
True.
We did a drug screen on you when you came in today, and you say you're taking a medication. You actually don't have that in your system. So you certainly don't have it at therapeutic levels, so you're not taking enough of it if you're taking it. But you did take you did test positive for opiates, and I assume this is probably you're taking something to help you to keep from withdrawal, right?
Yeah, when I was in detox.
Well, you don't get this out of your system as quickly as you think you do.
Okay.
If you leave here today and just go back to your life, where do you think you'll be in a year?
I think in a year, I don't think there'll be too much change if I'm being completely real with myself. I don't really see, like, after I've been doing heroin for so long, I don't really see some momentous change occurring by next year.
And one of the biggest mistakes people make when they try to get clean from drugs is they try to do that in a singular fashion. They go in and get clean from drugs, and then they come out and they do what we call white knuckling. You know, they're just kind of hanging on. It's like, okay. But everything else that's going on with them, all the psychological issues, all the mental emotional issues, all those things that they were using this to self-medicate for are still bubbling around, still going on in time. If you're ever going to have a chance to, no kidding, reclaim your life, you're going to have to stop going back and forth with these people and finding a reason that he's not fathering right and she's not mothering right and all of these things that you wish they would do differently. And you're going to have to stop allowing these things that have gone on in your life to continue to go on in your life, and you're going to have to face those things head on, and you're going to have to face them simultaneously with getting yourself clean. What you have to do is get into a dual diagnosis treatment program that deals with everything at the same time, that allows you to, no kidding, get your body clean, your brain clean, your life worked out, so you don't need something to self-medicate. So you resolve the issues and you get the coping skills other than biochemical. And anything short of that, your chance of turning this around, your chance of not going to an early grave are getting really, really short odds. And you have to make a decision. You're not going to do that. You have to make a decision. I got one shot here, and I am going to grab on with both hands, and I am prepared to make that available to you. I am prepared as a gift to you to make that resource available. You see this guy right here? This is Brad Lamb right here. He's a certified intervention professional. He's the founder of Breathe Life Healing Centers. Now, they are experts in dual diagnosis clinical care. And he's got Kathleen Murphy sitting right next to him, and she is a nurse. And I asked them to come here today because I want you to go with them. I want you to go to their treatment center from here. I don't want you to pass go. I don't want you to go home. I don't want you to do anything. I want you to go from here with Brad and with Kathleen and put yourself in this treatment center, because this is a time to say, I drew a line in the sand and decided I'm taking my life back, whatever it takes. And when you get through there, you're probably going to go to a sober living. You're probably going to start a new life and a new career and a new direction. Your life a year from now is probably not going to look anything like it looks right now. Brad, can you help her?
You bet. I built Breathe for a person just like you who's struggling with trauma and gets addicted and cannot get out of it, and also for a family like you that's stuck in the drama of it.
I'm offering you this gift. Will you take it?
Yes.
And I want you to come back here and pay this forward. I want you to come back here. You're a leader. You can use your life. And I want you to do it. I want you to do it here. But it starts with you. You do this with you first. Fair enough?
Yes.
Fair enough?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank all of my guests today.
Today on Dr. Phil. Is America in a men's session?
I'm supporting both of us and our daughter.
4 years you've been unemployed. Why couldn't you get a job?
We really cannot afford it.
You couldn't afford to get a job?
If he can't step up,
You believe you're cursed.
Yeah, I think I'm cursed.
his mother-in-law is speaking out.
TJ's a loser, a liar, a manipulator.
You're not helping by degrading him on a daily basis.
Let me stop it there. Don't do that.
She's crazy. She's crazy.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Fortune magazine published an article stating that 4 out of 10, or 40% of working moms, are the primary provider in their family. That means female breadwinners make up almost half of the household's major earners. So what does this trend mean for the future of relationships? Well, 2 of my guests today are working women who say they can't take it anymore. They claim while they're out working hard to provide for their loved ones, the men in their lives contribute next to nothing and are just downright lazy. Chelsea claims her husband TJ just hangs out on the couch, refusing to contribute financially to their family. In fact, in the 4 years they have been together, TJ has only had 3 jobs. The longest lasted a few weeks. And as for the other 2, well, one lasted 2 days and he quit the other one the first day. Take a look.
I'm beyond frustrated with my husband. When TJ and I met 4 years ago, he wasn't working, and I was hoping that he would get a job soon.
I got laid off when the economy tanked. Ever since, it's been impossible for me to get a job.
We've now been married 2 years, and TJ still doesn't have a job. Right now, I'm the only one working. I'm supporting both of us and our daughter. TJ says that he's always looking for work.
Every day I apply for 15 to 20 jobs. I submit resumes, but I never hear back.
I have checked the history on our computer, and I haven't seen that he's been looking for a job recently.
Chelsea needs to understand I'm doing everything I possibly can to find a job.
I've helped him fill out applications and even sent out his resume. TJ always has an excuse for why he doesn't have a job. He will tell me no one's hiring, he won't work for minimum wage.
We have had car problems. How am I supposed to get to an interview without having transportation? Personally, I may be cursed.
I feel very frustrated and angry. At this point, I'm not sure what to think.
Do you have anything that's in the works right now?
Not at the moment.
TJ and I have a 22-month-old daughter.
I'm a stay-at-home dad. Daycare is way too expensive.
I understand that daycare is expensive, but we could afford it if TJ was working. I feel like maybe TJ just doesn't want to work. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of.
What Chelsea needs to know and understand is I really want to work.
To make matters even worse, I recently got laid off from my job.
Now we're both unemployed.
Okay, TJ, let me start with you, okay? You say you've applied for how many jobs?
About 15 to 20.
Well, I thought you said you'd applied for 1,000 jobs.
Not a day, 15 to 20.
No, I didn't say a day.
Sorry.
Total. That you.
It's been way up there. I mean, because I'm including the submitting resumes online through different websites and
right.
through papers and.
You said you've been to like 60 interviews.
Yes, I have been, and it's very competitive where I live.
Okay, but you said you were raised very structured.
Yes, I was.
So, you have a very structured day with your daughter,
Yes, I
right?
do. Yes.
You pop up, fix her breakfast. You say the morning is for education.
That is correct.
And then the afternoon is for play. You go to
That
the
is
park
correct.
every day. You
Right. We'll do a different activity. Like we'll go to the mall, walk around, get some exercise, or we'll go to the park. You know, every kid needs to go to the park. You know, there's days that we'll sit at home and watch TV programs. It just depends if it's a rainy day or what.
Yeah.
You know.
But you're trying to get a job.
I am.
You're really trying to get a job.
I really am.
But since you're not, you're an active stay-at-home dad, half a day on education, half a day on...
Right, and this is because we really can't afford anything. There's no opening for me to actually go to an interview. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Take her with me to the interview? Am I supposed to leave her at home by herself? You know, leave her in the car? That's illegal.
Right.
I mean, there's no way out of it.
Yeah, you don't want to leave her in the car.
And yes, it's the truth. Right. She has a bachelor's degree. I don't. It's
and
hard.
you say the reason that she's all on you about this every day and creating a lot of pressure and anxiety to you
Yes.
is because her mother is a crazy, evil devil woman.
Yeah, I mean, she's crazy. She's crazy.
And we asked you why you felt like you couldn't get a job, and you said, well, you gave us a list. Well, caring for your daughter full
Yes.
time. And you say you can't take her and leave her in a car.
That is right.
You never hear back after your background check because you've got a felony conviction.
Yes, I do.
And it's for...
Burger River Building. I broke into a baseball park when I first turned 18. It was 2 months after my 18th birthday. Got drunk with a few friends, went over there and broke into the basement. Don't ask me why, but we did it. I don't remember doing it. But it
Just
was,
got stupid.
and I learned my lesson, you know.
Your car didn't work for 3 months.
Yeah.
You can't afford gas to go to the interviews.
Yeah, that's right.
Others are more qualified. You refuse to work for minimum wage.
Maybe if I got minimum wage at 40 hours a week, it'd be a different story. But I can't find one. I've never even had a minimum wage job. I mean, I'm talking about fast food or retail. It's 25 hours. I mean, you're not going to get more than that. You can beg for it. I've done it. I've never got more.
No good jobs where you live.
No.
And you believe you're cursed.
Yeah, I think I'm cursed. On 4 years, yeah, I think I'm cursed.
By the evil devil woman or just...
By her. But just in general, because say...
Just in general.
Right.
You don't think that's what's going on at all.
Well, some of it's true.
But you say you call home at 10 o'clock or send him an email or something and he's still in bed.
Right.
Where's she?
I guess still sleeping.
At 10 o'clock. Okay, and she's 2?
Right, she's about to be
23
2.
months, 22, 23
Yes.
months? And she has a 2-word vocabulary?
She speaks more than 2 words. A while back, she was only speaking a few words, but now she's speaking more. She'll say apple. She's trying to say orange. Mama, dad, bye.
Your doctor is shocked that she is developmentally delayed?
Right. She's.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah. Since we've seen the doctor, she's said a few words since then, but I don't feel like she's up to par where she should be at a 2-year-old level.
But when you come home, is like dinner ready, the house clean, laundry done, all of that?
No. And I feel like after I've been working all day long, I'm tired. And I don't want to come home to a house that's dirty. I don't want to come home and do laundry. And honestly, I shouldn't have to. If the tables were turned and I was the one at home, I would have given our daughter a bath. Dinner would be cooked and ready. Laundry would be done. Dishes would be done. The house would be vacuumed. And that's just all there is to it. The house would look spotless. And if I'm the one out working, and many people have told me this, the person that's staying at home should clean the house. That is their job. And I'm at the point where a marriage is a 2-way street. You may stay at home if that's what you're going to do, but clean the house. Don't make one person work extra hard.
And you've been together how long?
We've been together about 4 years.
And out of that 4 years, how much has he been unemployed?
99%. I mean, that's a fact, right?
Yes.
I'm not trying to make
So
it bad. It is
4
what it is.
years, you've been unemployed most of 4 years.
Yes.
Why weren't you getting a job those 2 years that you didn't have a daughter? You said, I couldn't leave her in the car. I was having to stay home to take care of her. Daycare costs too much. Those are your lead reasons for not getting a job. For 2 of the 4 years, you didn't have her. So why couldn't you get a job those 2 years?
Well, it's not really an excuse, but we were having car problems at the time. We couldn't afford much. I mean,
That's why you get a job.
I know that. But the thing is, we really could not afford it. I mean,
You couldn't afford to get a job?
No, we couldn't afford the gas to actually go out for me to look for a job.
But and you say you
And
don't
so-
want a minimum wage job. Did you graduate high school?
No.
You are a minimum wage worker. That's where you start. And then you work your way up. You're not going to get a job as a brain surgeon.
Right, I know.
Chelsea's mother, Karen, the evil devil woman, has been listening backstage and says her son-in-law, TJ, not only lacks ambition, but he's also a taker and a liar who has a bizarre way of thinking. Well, we're going to talk to her when we come back. Chelsea says she's tired of being the breadwinner in her family and is frustrated because her husband TJ has a million excuses why he can't make money. She also claims her family hates her husband, especially her mother, Karen. Karen says, well, what's not to hate? Take a look.
When I first met TJ, I felt somewhat sorry for him. I quickly realized that TJ expects people to cater to him. I think TJ is a liar, taker, the manipulator.
My mom calls him trash and a freeloader.
I feel like Chelsea's mom, Karen, is crazy.
TJ doesn't work, he doesn't want to work, and he's not going to work. I think it's disgusting that a man would mooch off their own wife.
My mom is frustrated, and I feel like I'm stuck in the middle.
My daughter, Chelsea, and I do not have a relationship now because he lies to her and she believes him.
I don't want to be a part of my mom's life because she won't accept my husband, TJ. I feel like my mom has even called Child Protective Services on TJ.
One day a lady showed up at our house and said she was from Child Protective Services. She looked around her house and even examined our daughter. I believe Karen was behind all of this.
I wouldn't put it past my mother. She's that evil.
I have never called CPS, but I have told them that I would call CPS if I needed to.
My mom doesn't need to continue to bash TJ. She needs to be understanding.
TJ's a loser and he needs to go hang out with the losers.
Okay, it sounds to me like you're trying to run the boy off. Is that right?
After 4.5 years, yes, of no
She tried to
working.
run me off the first 3 minutes meeting her.
You didn't think he was a good candidate from day one, minute one.
No.
Do you see any redeeming qualities in him whatsoever?
No. Zero.
And what's your main objection to him?
TJ doesn't, when we first came into Chelsea's life, it's not just, it wasn't the no working, it was after about a year of not working and telling people that you work, which is a total lie. If you don't work, then you tell people you don't work.
I'm sorry, I've never made that.
You do.
No, I'll say
And
I don't work.
actually-
Hey, America, I don't work right now. I don't have to hide it.
Actually,
I don't have to hide it.
Okay, well, let me just get a little further with the work.
Come on.
You went to church, and someone from the church who was going to help you. They asked you a question, how long has it been since you have not worked? And you said, and this was 3 months ago, and you said it'd been 3 months.
Oh, really? So you was there, so you know exactly what I told this group of people.
Chelsea?
She was
I mean,
at
at
work.
the end of the day, TJ probably is embarrassed, but, you know, the
At
reason
the
why...
end of the day?
Well, totally. You know, but the reason
I'm
why...
sorry, nobody can really say that statement because I was the only person there.
Okay, first of all,
inside
bottom
that
line
classroom.
is, when you don't
And all this
provide,
is a meeting
when you
group that
can't
everybody gets
provide,
together and looks through
when you
newspapers.
can't provide for a woman and you knew you couldn't provide
Where
for
are
a
you?
woman, you should have never married her in the
Where are
first
you?
place. Okay? You set
Y'all
a
constantly
marriage on a
fight and-
foundation.
Okay.
Okay? You set it on a
Okay.
foundation, and if you're going to use God in it, then it's built on a godly
Really,
foundation.
even using God, I don't go around bashing, using scriptures against somebody.
Okay, that part of it, we're going to stick to the story of the no job.
That is part of the
And the
story.
lying and the manipulation. Okay?
Well,
If you
maybe
call-
or maybe not. I don't know.
I mean, if it's evil for me to continue to be frustrated at you because you don't work, because
You've
you
been
lie to
frustrated since
people.
the day I pulled up to paint your house.
And we are about to lose everything we have.
It's
I
not-
just lost my job.
I don't even know
And
how
that
you
is
can
why
say
we are here.
Who is we?
Because it's a marriage.
She hasn't brought anything to the table. You were raised in a home where everybody brings something to the table. He brings zero.
And I-
He doesn't have 2 cents to rub
No.
together.
I
So how could it
understand
be we?
Let
where
me tell
you're
you
coming
something.
from.
You complain about your daughter not being in your life and your granddaughter, but you won't step up and say, you know what, TJ, you need a job. Let me watch your granddaughter today. You won't even offer that.
I
Okay?
did.
No, you did not. You've never offered that a day in your life.
Yeah.
You don't give a damn. You'll take 3 months to talk to your daughter because y'all will fight about something so petty. And I'll tell your daughter
TJ.
to come to you and talk to you.
TJ,
But you know what? I'm
first of
done.
all,
I've
let
been
me
done
say
the last
something.
year and a half. I won't
First
ever,
of all, let me say
ever,
something to you.
ever help y'all again.
Okay, you
I'm
don't
done.
help me.
Dude, y'all didn't talk
You don't
before I
help.
met y'all. Well, how do you think that
First of
birthday
all,
dinner
TJ.
happened? Did I not come over to you and say you need to speak to your mother? That's your mother. She loves
TJ,
you.
first of all,
Okay,
First of all,
time
you
out. Time out.
married for that, unreal.
Time out. That's 5 minutes of my life I can never get back. And you're just all talking at one time and bickering back and forth, and you don't need me here for that. Does anybody have any questions for me?
I do. How can we change this situation? You know, I love TJ and I want him to work at the end of the day. We are never going to have a life. We're never going to get ahead. We're never going to be able to have a home. Never going to be able to provide my daughter with a good life if TJ is not working. On the flip side, I want my mom to be in our life. I want her to be supportive and be a grandmother and be there for us. So how do we fix TJ's unemployment, and then how do we bring peace in the family? Those are my two main questions.
We're going to find out if she really wants out or if she really doesn't. when we come back.
The fact that TJ isn't working creates a lot of stress in our relationship.
Chelsea can push my buttons.
TJ gets angry and he starts cursing at times. I feel like TJ says these things because he's under so much stress and he has no other way of coping.
TJ is physically abusive. Chelsea has told one of our relatives that he has pushed her against the wall, put his hands around her neck. Once I saw Chelsea with a black eye and I asked her what happened. Chelsea told me that he wanted to sleep late and he hit her in the eye.
I've never laid my hands on Chelsea. I would never hit a woman.
One time he got so upset with her, he told her he would take your heart out and liver and cut it up and boil it and eat it. I think TJ is very dangerous. He is a ticking time bomb.
Karen says she raised her college-educated daughter Chelsea to be ambitious and self-sufficient. So she is angry that she married TJ, who Karen describes as a lazy moocher. But there's a darker side of the story that no one here wants to talk about. Has this gotten to the point where there has been physical abuse?
No, absolutely not. There was the shirt incident, but that was it. The shirt incident where he accidentally popped my eye, and everyone in the family knew about that. But as far as physical violence, there's never been any physical violence. And, you know, that's why we can't have a relationship, because you lie, and if you say one thing, then you totally twist it. You know, we are here. I wrote into the show for my marriage, and because TJ is unemployed. And like I said, we're about to lose everything we have, so that is the root of the
Okay, well, here's the email that you wrote in to us. I pulled some excerpts out of this. He also has anger problems and has popped me in the face before and thrown things at me, causing bruises. You wrote that.
The only thing that he has ever done was the shirt incident, where he went like this and he popped me in the face.
He cusses and yells around our daughter when I have begged him to stop.
I think that TJ, and he'll admit to that, and
Yes,
I think
will.
that his
I'll admit to anything I'm wrong. I will not lie.
and, that was wrong.
I have.
Okay, but he has anger problems and has popped me in the face. Now, those are your words in your email.
Right.
Okay, you didn't say has accidentally popped me in the face. You said he has anger problems and has popped me in the face, and you went on to say he has thrown things at me, causing bruises. So, to me, I read that as a domestic violence scenario.
He shouldn't have done that, and we've discussed that. And
Okay,
you know,
and you said,
was
how can
wrong.
I help you? You said, how can I help you? Well,
Right.
I can give you some advice here. I'm not trying to throw your husband under the bus here, but you have a tendency to start defending him anytime somebody says something critical about him. But you have to understand, if you want to solve problems, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And if you trivialize or minimize things that are going on, then it's real hard to put them on a priority list. You've had items thrown at you. You don't want to trivialize that. That's not okay. And you don't want to be doing that.
Well, it goes back to TJ's anger, and I do believe that has been, you know, the unemployment has caused him. He is stressed. He is angry. You know, he's at his breaking point, I feel like, right? Don't you feel like you don't know, I don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. And that's why I wrote in, something has to change.
Listen, we can talk about why. Right now we're talking about what. The what we're talking about is that he's throwing items at you. And you wound up with a black eye. Karen alleges that TJ gave Chelsea a black eye, and she gave our producers a photo that she claims is proof. Is this your black eye? And this was just accidental.
Yeah, he, you know.
Tell them the truth. Tell them about you and Autumn pulling my hair and how I was uncomfortable being at your aunt's house with your parents being there on a random secret surprise. So you're sitting there plucking at my head, and I get the damn shirt and I swung it and I caught her with the button. I didn't swing it lightly. I mean, I was irritated. I'm sleeping. I don't want to be messed with because every time I get around them, it's drama. I mean, it drives me crazy. Every
So it
time,
wasn't
no
an
matter what.
accident.
It was like I was in the middle of, it was like I'm sleeping and I'm being messed with and I'm saying stop, stop, stop. And I grabbed the shirt that's right next to me because I had no shirt on when I was laying down in bed and I just swung it. And it just caught
Well,
her.
I
And she said,
told him, you have to
And I felt
control
horrible.
yourself. What if you had accidentally hit
I
our
was in
daughter?
tears because I
and
don't
that's
want
what
to lose
had
her
an
because
issue.
I did something stupid. I mean, that was ignorant. I mean, I still look at myself low for doing that.
Why are you throwing things at her?
Well, that's the shirt. I mean, I'm not going off and saying, hey, I'm going to hit you with this dish today. And especially, why would I want to hit her at her family's house? Everybody's there. I just feel like hitting you at your family's today. I mean, it makes no sense.
But yet, you did it.
I know, it was stupid. I was, like, still asleep.
Why are you not getting a job?
First, it was because I couldn't find nothing that I wanted to get paid. And that was ignorant, that was stupid. I wanted a job. There's nothing that made me feel better to support her and my daughter. But now there's no help. My mother's not capable of helping us. She just nags. It destroys me. I'm depressed. I've been wanting a job so bad it took me, landed me in the emergency room. I'm a big dude, so I never had anxiety. I had a call from work because I felt like I was having a heart attack. I get to the emergency room, they put the EKG on me and said my heart rhythms have, they called it heart participations, I think it was.
Palpitations?
Heart palpitations, and I was having anxiety and panic attack. And they told me to go see a heart doctor with a cardiologist.
Okay.
And it's just, we couldn't afford them. I mean, it's so much.
Just look at me here.
Yes.
Stay with me here. Why are you not looking for a job? Why
I am looking out. I am looking. I'll take anything. It's been like this.
I'm not talking about right now, just a minute. I'm talking about why are you not working? Why are you not out there getting a job?
There's no one to help me right now. I mean, I have my kid. I can't just take her with me. I know it's no excuse, but I really have no family helping me. Like, literally zero. She has a grandmother. That's it. Her mother's 3 hours away. Her aunt's 6. Everybody's gone. My family's gone. I mean, I have a small family because everybody's passed. I mean, it's just, it feels like there's no way out. Nothing.
That's why I wrote into the show, and then I happened to lose my job in the middle of talking with the producers, and my hands are up.
I wouldn't just say, hey, I don't want a job today. Screw it, go to work, lady. It's not like that. I mean, at first it was because I was hard-headed. I wanted a job. I made, okay, $25 an hour isn't a lot to a lot of people. But in my area, it was good because I had overtime. So whenever you lose that job and you're only getting jobs for $8, $9 an hour, you're like, what the hell? That's like cutting your 66% of your check. And at that time, it was just me and her. She was covering her own. And, you know, I'm over here, I'm wanting to work. It was stupid of me.
Look,
it was really
TJ, but do you understand the logic of what you're saying? You're saying it's like a 66% cut. It's like a $9 raise.
I know. From nothing, I know. And it was selfish of me, I know it was.
And do you understand, at this point...
But everybody makes mess-ups. I mean, everybody
But
is
you
not
realize that right now...
It's haunting me, yes.
It's like inertia. Mm-hmm. You know, inertia is the tendency of bodies at rest to stay at rest. And so you're at home, and you're not even doing everything you can do at home. There's home-based businesses you can do. You're not cleaning the house. You're not cooking the meals. You're not doing the laundry. And you can tell yourself whatever you want to tell yourself, but if you've got a little girl that's coming up on 2 years old that's saying one word at a time and has a vocabulary of 5 or 6, then she is not getting the stimulation that she needs to be getting. She should be asking 2-word questions right now. She should be saying 2-word sentences. She should be adding words every month. If you're taking her out and you're taking her on walks where you're reinforcing by saying dog, tree, bush, and then she says dog and you say yes, dog, good job. You build their vocabulary across time. That's not happening. You're allowing a developmental delay to creep in here, and it's going to be difficult if you let that set in. You need to close that gap right now. It should concern you.
I want her in daycare. I want her around other kids. She is behind.
And that tells you that she is in a cognitively impoverished environment throughout the day. And then you are home, you say, well, I'm tired when I'm home. This little girl is in a cognitively impoverished environment. She needs stimulation, and it's not TV.
I know.
Because it has to be interactive, and she has to be teased out on this stuff. It takes effort, it takes energy, and it obviously is not happening. Based on results, it is not happening.
My daughter is being brainwashed by TJ. Before she met TJ, she was independent, she had everything. Now, since being with TJ, she cannot make any decisions. She has to have TJ's approval for everything.
Karen thinks I brainwashed Chelsea. Karen also believes I'm in some type of cult. I think that's just plain crazy.
She thinks that TJ is manipulating me and taking advantage of the situation.
I feel like he could be involved in some kind of cult.
Okay, you said, you had a question, how can this situation get back online?
Right.
Let me start with you, get that out of the way since you're not part of this relationship. You may wish she hadn't married him, but she did. And whether he stays married or they don't stay married, he's still the father of your granddaughter. And you're not helping by belittling and degrading him on a daily basis.
Okay, let me stop you there. I do not do that. I don't do that.
Okay, well,
don't do that.
all right, well, then let me put it this way. You're not helping by belittling and degrading him occasionally, quarterly, semi-annually, whatever the frequency of it is, to your daughter. She knows your opinion. I think if you just ratchet it down a little bit and let me try to do some things, that things might help. You need to quit lying to yourself. You have an undivided loyalty to your 2-year-old daughter, and you're allowing her to be neglected by him. He is being lazy in the way he is nurturing her cognitively and intellectually, and you're allowing that to happen. You need to stop that. You need to take care of your daughter. And if that means that you can't leave her with him, if that means you need to take her and go somewhere, whatever you need to do, your daughter comes first. She needs a protector here, and that protector is you. And by protect, I mean just from neglect. I don't think he would hurt your daughter.
Right.
I don't believe he's in a cult. I don't believe he's... You're lazy. And I'll tell you why you're lazy. You made some bad decisions early on, and you got in a comfort zone. You got in a habit. You need to be willing to do anything for anybody, anywhere that's not illegal. Okay? And you need help with your depression, and you need a life coach to get you on your feet and get you moving to work this out. And I am going to provide you help in both of those areas. We are going to get you back on your feet. We are going to get you employed. We are going to get you standing tall with a paycheck in your pocket where you can help your family. Okay? And I know the people that can do that. And we're going to take about 100 pounds off of you while we're doing it. We're going to get you in shape physically, mentally, emotionally. We're going to get you employed. We're going to get this depression, which is a reactive depression, not an endogenous depression. And then you're going to be able to stand tall and conduct yourself where you look in the mirror and say, you're doing a good job. How would that feel? To marry or not to marry someone with huge debt? We're going to talk about that next. We'll be right back. Okay?
Dear Dr. I've been dating my boyfriend Justin for 2 years, but there are a few things that concern me. Justin has accumulated nearly $300,000 of debt with college loans. He graduated and has been trained to be an air traffic controller, but sadly, the Federal Aviation Administration is not hiring at this time, so he is stuck working as a server at a restaurant. We would like to get married, but another one of my concerns is my boyfriend Justin isn't proactive about getting a better paying job, and he is constantly spending what money he does make on upgrading his car and storage equipment. Justin says he wants to pay off his loans, but he says he doesn't know where to start. I feel he has just become lazy and unmotivated, and I fear if we get married, I may get stuck paying off his loans. What advice do you have to help us through this? Sincerely, Emily.
And so, Emily, what is it you want him to do that he's not doing?
Anything. Become proactive in the situation, get a better paying job, because right now serving is just not doing it.
Okay, and Justin, you know what she wants you to do, so why are you not doing it?
I'm just trying right now to make ends meet, do anything that can pay the bills and help her and me just getting through our daily lives. I wanted to fulfill my dream, and I was kind of waiting for that, and that might not be the smartest option right now.
Yeah. She says that you could work 45 minutes closer doing the same thing for more money. Even if you don't get a job as an air traffic controller, that you could, as a server, that you could work closer, more money, So it would save on everything and give you better ability to pay off your debt, et cetera, et cetera. So why are you guys not working through that?
The reason why I haven't worked closer was because I just started this job about 5 months ago. They were the only place that kind of gave me the opportunity to start working. I felt it was too soon to kind of throw them under the bus and just go somewhere else.
Yeah. Relationships are about common goals, common values, and being able to get together and see whether or not you have compatibility on those things or whether you don't. So what you need to do is go through some very structured premarital counseling to see whether or not you are way off on what you want and what you're willing to do to get there. But you guys are not even almost ready to even think about getting married. Not even, almost, sorta, kinda, maybe. And I can tell you, this is just a guy thing, and I hate to put words in Justin's mouth, and he can deny this when we hang up here. But my sense is he ain't really ready to get married right now. Because I think he's kind of okay with the way things are going at this point. So I'm guessing this is higher up on your priority list than it is on his. Justin, do you want to acknowledge that, or you just want to recuse yourself and talk about it with her later?
I would agree with you a little bit there.
Don't believe I'd have said that. No, I'm just kidding. No. Really, no, I do appreciate your honesty and candor. And you need to know that, Emily. You guys talk about that. You need to go through some premarital counseling. And if you survive today, then I'm happy to set you up with some very structured premarital counseling that will talk about all the topics you need to go through before you make a decision to put marriage on your radar. Fair enough?
Yes.
All right, coming up, a woman who says we're in the middle of a man session and female breadwinners dating underachievers is a new social epidemic. We'll talk to her next. We'll be right back. Next guest is a renowned comedy writer and an adjunct professor at the University of Southern California. She is also the author of the self-help guide, Get Your Butt Off My Couch and Your Hand Out of My Wallet. And claims there is a really serious man session happening at epidemic proportions. Please welcome Sonia Warfield. Well, how are you? Oh my God. You explain what you mean by man session.
Well, Dr. Phil, I mean, there's a real epidemic going on. Women are becoming breadwinners, and the men they're not stepping up, and they're not stepping up at home either. There was actually a new study out that found that middle-class men do the least amount of housework, but they believe they do the most. So they're delusional. And it's just a crushing responsibility on women to bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, take care of the kids, take care of the house, and it's just too much. And I think men are becoming too comfortable. I think Kanye West needs to revise the lyrics of his song Gold Digger to now include men, okay? Yeah. Because there's a new kind of gold digger in town.
Yeah. So give me like your top 3 pieces of advice to women that find themselves in that situation.
Well, I really think that part of the problem is that we cover things up. We're not telling people that, no, our husband isn't working.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Throw the brakes on there a minute.
Okay.
So you're saying your advice to women is like, if they're at the church social or a dinner party or whatever, and they say, what does your husband do? They should say what?
Well, they should say, you know what, he's not employed right now. He's looking for work. Do you know of anybody or anything that could possibly help him? Instead of keeping it a secret.
But what if he's not looking for work?
Well, if you want him to be looking for work and he's not looking for work actively and he should be, then that's the time to out him. I mean, it's not to shame him and to embarrass him, but it is to talk about the issue and not cover it up.
Yeah. So you should also go on a sex strike.
Well, yes, here's the thing, Dr. Phil. If enough is enough with this man and you're tired of him and you're tired of what he's doing and not doing, why do you even want to have sex with him in the first place?
Sonia also lists some warning signs of an underachieving man. You said, 1, he has to move in too soon.
Yeah, that basically means he's homeless, okay?
Yeah.
If he's trying to move in with you right away, and you might think it's cute and you might think, oh, he loves me, he might not have anywhere else to go, ladies.
Yeah. He's a dreamer. He's all talk and no action.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. A dreamer who doesn't do anything, his dream you'll end up paying for, and that will become your nightmare.
Yeah. Okay, is it, women tell me, is it uncool if a guy pulls out a coupon?
If it's right away, if you've been dating them for a while, then yeah, I understand. But if it's like on the first date and he pulls out a coupon, come on.
You tried to use a coupon on our honeymoon.
No, I didn't.
Remember?
We were gooning you on that.
I know, but I haven't forgotten.
You go to a cheap casino, they give you a free beef stew dinner.
It was for a picture.
And we were telling her we were going to take her there to get her a free beef stew dinner. She thought we were serious.
No, not that one. I knew that was a joke. It was
He's happy for you to buy your own engagement. Turn her mic off. He's happy for you to buy your own engagement ring. Bad sign, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you have to buy your own engagement ring, then you're proposing to yourself and marrying yourself. Honestly, like if he can't afford your engagement ring or if he's fine with that, then there's a problem, ladies.
Yeah. All right, I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Sonia Warfield. Her book, Get Your Butt Off My Couch and Your Hand Out of My Wallet, is now available on Amazon. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
Today on Dr. Phil. He's the father of both their babies.
You cheated on Melissa.
Yes.
And you cheated on Teresa.
I did.
Is there anybody you won't sleep with?
Now they're fighting over him.
Teresa and I are engaged to be married.
Do you trust him?
No, not with her.
There's constant drama between these two women.
Well, hell, you started it.
She says, hands off, he's mine.
She said you sent her pictures of Bill's private parts.
I don't remember.
He says she can't keep her hands off.
You said Melissa man-raped me.
She came on to me, grabbing me, touching me.
So she forced herself on you.
Yes.
Well, you poor thing. Grow up and start conducting yourself like a father instead of a dog in heat. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
I hate to see people suffering, and you've heard long enough.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
1 second.
I'm going to get you the help that you need.
In 5, 4.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Okay, I want you to imagine this. Imagine some woman peering through your windows, sending naked pictures to your fiancé, and showing up at work unannounced. Well, that's what Teresa says her fiancé Bill's ex-girlfriend is doing, and she wants this psycho stalker, as she calls her, to just leave them alone. She says Melissa is jealous, obsessed, and out to ruin her relationship with Bill. It's a love triangle that began 6 years ago when Bill first laid eyes on Teresa. Take a look.
When I first laid eyes on Teresa, I thought she was beautiful.
Bill was absolutely head over heels in love with me.
When I met Teresa, little did I know she was engaged.
Even though I was still planning on getting married, I did continue to see Bill from time to time.
Since Teresa was engaged, I moved on. I met Melissa online.
Bill absolutely swept me off my feet. I was happy and in love.
It was a fun little ride in the beginning for the first month or two.
Bill started telling everybody I was going to be the one that he marries, and after 3 months, I moved in with him.
I was still thinking about Teresa alive. He called me and we would still meet up for sex.
He would definitely confide in me about problems that they were having.
After being with Bill for 3 months, I found out I was pregnant.
I remember like losing it. I cried. I did not want to have a child with this woman.
Bill would constantly say, if you want to be with me and you want us to have a future, then you need to have an abortion. I felt horrible. I felt very alone. He just wasn't willing to do it. He wanted nothing to do with me and certainly wanted nothing to do with the baby. While I was pregnant, I found out that Bill was cheating on me with Teresa. Bill and I eventually had a little boy.
Even though I had a child, I finally had enough with Melissa.
Our son was a month old and Bill told us to both move out. I was very angry. He was a womanizer. He was horrible.
Well, with Melissa out of the house, Bill was a bachelor, and Teresa made her move.
When I found out Bill and Melissa broke up, I couldn't have been happier. My ex-fiance and I were broken up, so it made it easier for us to reconnect.
I was extremely excited. It was almost like a little kid on Christmas. Wow, I got the gift I wanted.
When Melissa found out that Bill and I first started dating, I completely wanted to just say, haha, I won.
When Melissa found out that Teresa was moving in, it got crazy.
I flipped out. I was very angry. I felt that she had destroyed our family.
I got pregnant 4 months after Bill and I started dating.
Teresa and I have a baby girl now, and we are engaged to be married.
Melissa is making my life and Bill's life a living hell.
I hate Teresa for breaking up my relationship with Bill.
I had nothing to do with their breakup. He never wanted to be with her. He never loved her.
Teresa is a homewrecker, a liar, she's manipulative and controlling. She's just a bitch.
Melissa is the definition of evil. I think Melissa is absolutely obsessed with having Bill back.
I am absolutely stuck in the middle of Melissa and Teresa's drama. Melissa has made it extremely clear that as long as she is alive, Teresa and I will never be a couple. We will never be married. She will make sure of it.
Well, ain't love just grand? Really? So you each think the other is a conniving, interfering, deceitful bitch. Fair enough?
Absolutely. Fair enough.
Where do you come down in all of this? I hear you talking about this like you're just almost a passenger.
At this point, it's been going on so long that I kind of just sit back, and I've been wanting it to play itself out. It's just not. It's not playing itself out. It's not getting any easier.
You're saying you want it to play itself out. What is it?
The constant drama between these two women. The constant arguing. I mean,
hell, you started it.
Granted, absolutely, absolutely.
Is there anybody you won't sleep with?
Amen.
Well, it's for, over
no,
years.
Come on. You're first with Melissa, and you cheated on her with Teresa, right?
I was with Teresa first, and then Melissa, and then back with Teresa.
You met Teresa first.
Yes, that's
right.
Yes.
Then when you were with Melissa, you started cheating on Melissa with Teresa. Right?
Yes, yes.
That's not an essay question. You either did or you didn't. Okay, and you at the time were engaged to somebody else.
Yes.
All right, so you're engaged to somebody else to be married. Somebody's got down on their knee, asked you to live with them, make them your wife for life. You say, yeah,
Well,
sure,
we actually-
but I'm going to go actually sleep with him in the meantime.
We were engaged for a while before I met Bill. We postponed our wedding. We canceled it, and we took a 2-month break. That's when I met Bill. And then me and my ex-fiance, we got back together while I had already met Bill.
Okay, so you were working them both at the same time?
Yes.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy.
Oh, we'll get to you. We're going to get to you. Trust me.
I'm not worried.
You better be.
You say Teresa's threatened to ruin your life.
I don't think I've ever said that, but she certainly makes my life hell.
What is it she's doing that you don't like? What is it you don't want her to do?
If Bill and I have a disagreement about our son, she's on the phone texting me, "You're a bad mother, stop stressing Bill out, yada, yada." She puts her place in positions that she should not be.
Well, are you two co-parenting?
We're trying to co-parent.
And is that it? I mean, is that all you're looking for, is to co-parent your son?
All I'm looking
with
for
you?
now is to co-parent. Have we had affairs in the past? Absolutely, yes.
I wrote down some of the things you said to us. Okay? You said, "I'm totally the scorned woman. I'm bitter."
I am.
You
yes.
said, quote, "If Teresa knew what's best for her, she'd leave Bill."
Yes, agreed.
You said, "I'm better for Bill than Teresa. We have more in common."
Yes.
You said, quote, "If it was up to me, Teresa and Bill would split."
Yes.
Bill likes the attention and knows I have deep love for him.
Mm-hmm.
Bill is usually very nice to me when it's just him and me.
Mm-hmm.
If Bill was dating someone else, I would hook up with him anyway. And now you come out here and said, "No, I just want to co-parent."
There's always
That's
going to
what
be
co-parent.
feelings there, but I'm not pursuing a
Well,
relationship
tell
with
the
him.
truth. I mean,
I
come
feel
on.
it is the truth.
No, you're not telling the truth. You're spinning it.
Okay. I don't feel like I'm pursuing a relationship with him, and I figured,
Really?
Really?
He doesn't tell that story.
He doesn't tell a lot of stories the same way that everybody else does.
Okay, well, all right, let's take a break. Next, if Bill and Teresa are so in love, then why did Bill go behind his fiance's back and do the unthinkable with Melissa? You're going to need a dance card. Get some chalk. We'll be back after the break.
It is safe to say Melissa's forced herself on me.
Bill cheated with her. I was 2 months pregnant. I was extremely hurt and upset.
I'm very glad that it upset Teresa, so she at least has a little inclination as to how it felt for me. I don't think Teresa has a clue as to what goes on in Bill's world. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that she doesn't know.
If Melissa hears that Teresa and I are fighting or arguing, she'll try to call me, ask me what's wrong. Oh, you could talk to me. Melissa was dropping off my son to me. She saw I was upset, and she proceeded to start grabbing me, playing with me, until I finally I caved in.
I found out it happened because she sent me a picture. Bill cheated with her. I was 2 months pregnant. I was extremely hurt and upset.
I'm very glad that it upset Teresa, so she at least has a little inclination as to how it felt for me. She doesn't seem to realize that she did the exact same thing to me.
It is safe to say Melissa's forced herself on me.
In his words, she practically raped him. I absolutely believe Bill. I think that's what happened.
Bill was so anxious he was speeding on his way to hook up with me and got a ticket on his way over. I do not throw myself at Bill. Bill wants to have sex with me. When Bill and I have sex, it's planned. We have a day, a time.
The second time I cheated on Teresa with Melissa was probably about 7 months ago. Melissa's like, oh, are you fighting with Teresa? She basically propositioned me again.
I feel like she was definitely trying to break us up. I was beyond angry. I have serious trust issues with Bill.
I don't think Teresa has a clue as to what goes on in Bill's world. Teresa thinks that Bill and I have only had sex 2 or 3 times. It's probably been more like 10 times. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that she doesn't know.
Okay, well, on tape you said 10. You told us 10 to 15 times.
I'm not, yes, 10 to 15.
10
I don't
to 15.
know. Since they've been together.
Okay.
I knew about 2 times.
Well, she says it's been 10 to 15. When she said that, he was like, oh, no. How could you believe that?
Just like I man raped him, yet he drove to me.
I believe that 100%.
He drove
You
to
believe
me.
what?
That
Different
she
time.
totally forced himself.
She's talking about a different time.
I've never gone to your house and gone for you. You've always come to me.
Liar.
I've never gone for him. He's always come to me.
No. Absolutely.
So then tell me, where else have we hooked at? Where else have we hooked up at?
She came to drop my son off. I was fighting with
Where?
her. In my condo. At my condo before she moved in. Threw
I've
herself
never hooked
at
up
me.
with Bill in front of my son.
Liar.
Never. Would take a polygraph test. Never hooked up with you in front of my son.
God, I
Even when
think
we were
you three
together.
take a polygraph test, it'd blow the damn machine up. It'd run out of ink. Seriously? But you said she comes on to you, therefore...
Dr. Phil, I 100% I came into this admitting I had done wrong. I have made mistakes 100%. But when I make these mistakes, I'm not in a she's breaking up with me. I'm not, like, the last time I was at my mom's house.
You told me that you left her, and now I find out she threw you out. You
Yeah,
told me
you
a whole
never
other
left me,
story.
so I
I
don't know
never
what you're
told
talking
her
about.
that.
Yes, you did.
I never
When you
told
went
her
to your
that.
mother's house, you told me that you left her.
No.
We asked Bill about his cheating. I understand he's cheated on Melissa with Teresa and Teresa with Melissa. And here's how you explained this to us. I wrote these down. You said Melissa man raped me. Walk me through that.
All right. She came on to me, grabbing me, touching me, forcing herself on me. I finally broke down. I was wrong. I made a mistake. We're going back a couple years before even my daughter was born. So this isn't something that happened recently. She's confusing 2 times.
So she forced herself on you.
Several years ago, yes.
Well, you poor thing.
Look at her. He is a poor thing.
He chose to have a child with me.
He didn't want to.
Well, we were living together.
He didn't
that
want
was by
to.
choice.
Okay, he said, I'm 100% man. What am I supposed to do? I couldn't help it.
Is that what I said?
I hate it when that happens. What do you mean? I couldn't help it.
I don't remember it being worded exactly that way.
Oh, no, it was worded exactly that way.
You know what?
Quote.
I made a mistake, Dr. Phil. 100%. I fessed up to that since the beginning we came in here. I know that. Why I'm here is to take away this drama because I believe my kids are being affected. I want to fix the drama. I don't want these 2 women
Well,
to
you
fight
are
anymore.
the drama. You went on,
Maybe
you said, Melissa pulled down my pants and gave me sex against my will. I just zoned out like a rape victim. Melissa won't take no for an answer. She says, you want blank? Want to relieve some stress? It will be our little secret.
Yes.
I took her to the park and it was bam, bam. I wasn't thinking about her pleasure. Melissa started getting nasty with me and I caved. I never kissed her though. I mean, he has his standards. You apparently drew a line. He said, I never kissed her. It doesn't mean anything. I didn't even talk to her while we were having sex. Melissa was texting me naked pictures, and I was weak while you were having sex or later?
I'm sorry, I was reading. I missed that.
Yeah, okay. Melissa cornered me, grabbed me, and manipulated me until I gave in. Teresa kicked me out, so I was depressed.
Poor me, right? Yeah, I get it.
So you kicked him out, so he went to the park and bam, bam.
Yep. Yep.
Very classy. So you man raped him.
Apparently.
Oh, I'm
He
asking
picked
you.
me up and brought me to the park to have
It's a
sex.
different time.
He just said he's 100% man. So which is it? Am I possibly able to man rape someone? I can't force it to work. I mean, give me a break. And if I man raped him, why would he
I don't know
continue
whether
to do
you
it?
can force it to work or not. I don't know. But apparently, you worked it out. I mean, the two of you, in some combination of interactions, you were able to get her done. Right? 10 or 15 times. How do you feel about that?
I don't believe that it was 10 to 15 times. I think that's a complete lie. I think it's only been the 2 times I know about.
Just twice?
Yeah.
Okay, so you cheated on Melissa while she was pregnant.
Yes.
And you cheated on Teresa while she was pregnant.
Yes, absolutely, I did.
Very classy.
I'm not saying it's classy.
Very classy. Okay. Up next, what happened that had both women headbutting, pulling hair, and leaving bruises while Bill just stood by, watched, and then walked away?
Melissa being obsessed with Bill makes me very, very upset.
It's very difficult being in the situation I'm in. Melissa still lingering around, holding on to some hope that we may be able to rekindle.
I feel like she will stop at nothing to get him back. Melissa and I do not get along.
We hate each other's guts.
Melissa and Teresa got into a physical fight.
Now, I had enough of Melissa's trash talking.
Teresa got in my face.
Melissa headbutted Teresa, and then it was on. Like an MMA fight. It was not a girl fight. This was an uppercut, kicking, kneeing. I personally didn't want to get involved, just walked away.
I ended up with fingerprints on my neck.
I smacked her in the mouth. It was like the second best thing next to having my daughter in the entire world. Melissa absolutely had it coming.
So you're an adult. You're driving over there, planning a fist fight.
No, she
With a
had
3-year-old there.
She had said on the phone, didn't she say something?
Yes.
Thank you. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she said, bring that bitch here, bring that bitch
No,
here.
I've always made it very clear that I don't want you at pickup or
Melissa,
drop-off.
you're delusional. You said that on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, after their fist fight at the custody exchange, Teresa says she is terrified of what else Melissa is capable of doing. Take a look.
I feel Melissa's obsessed with me.
I'm not obsessed with Bill. I constantly say I don't want to be with him.
I absolutely think Melissa focuses her life around Bill. I think that she thinks about Bill constantly.
I feel like she's constantly keeping tabs on me.
Bill put his Facebook to private.
It created World War III.
What's the big harm in us being friends on Facebook? People are friends on Facebook that don't even speak in real life, and I'm your son's mother.
To this day, she calls Bill 5 times a day.
And she uses my son as an excuse.
I don't talk to Bill every day. We do talk a couple times a week. Again, our son has a lot of issues.
I think Melissa is so crazy that she pretends her son is constantly sick and constantly having issues just to get more attention from Bill.
Melissa has actually showed up at my job unannounced. Melissa has gone so far as saying, your son noticed your company's logo and asked to come see you.
And my son will say, I want to stop at Daddy's work, so we'll stop. I don't think I ever overstep my boundaries.
I think she just is obsessed with him.
Okay, are you obsessed with him?
No,
I mean, you
I'm
say
not
you're just co-parenting. Why is she so freakish about this? After you've said you have this deep love for him, that you want to, why would she be okay with you being around him after you say all of that?
I don't think she should be okay with us being around each other, but she makes it like I'm the enemy. He's the enemy. He's the one that's treated us both the same way.
But you
he's
two
the one
are
that's
in the
created
fist
it.
fight. Why are you two in a fist fight? Just because you're talking trash?
Yeah, she was talking trash.
So, and you think the solution to that?
No, she headbutted me. I did not put my
You
hands
put
on her.
your hands on me first.
No,
I made sure I waited till you
didn't.
touched
No,
me.
I
You
didn't.
headbutted her?
You took your
Where
nose
did
and
you learn to
Thank
headbutt
you.
people?
Headbutt her.
Is Melissa obsessed with Bill? Now, this is according to you. Okay, this is what somebody said about you. This is according to you. You say that you call and text Bill constantly.
About our son, but yes, I do.
You show up at Bill's job unannounced.
I do, with my son.
You told Teresa that you had sex with Bill just to get even,
True.
right?
Yes.
You told another girlfriend, oh my God, there's another one? You told another girlfriend you had sex with Bill to break them up.
Yes.
Well, you say that like, well, yes, doesn't
No,
everybody?
I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but that's reality. That's what happens.
According to Bill, you faked a pregnancy and an abortion to get his attention.
No, I thought I was pregnant at one time and took pregnancy tests, and half of them were positive and half of them were negative, so I had to go to the doctor, and I was not pregnant.
What? What? Yo, this whole time, I thought she had an abortion.
No, I didn't.
I'm finding out about this now. Now is the first time that I'm finding out
you I had an
that she didn't have an abortion. My whole family thought this.
You mean you've been lied to and deceived?
I know.
No, he hasn't.
It's awful.
Outrageous! You moved in with Bill's cousin to keep tabs on him.
No.
You live with Bill's cousin?
Bill's cousin's wife is my best friend and my son's godmother.
Okay, you moved all of your stuff in while Bill was on vacation?
With his permission, yes.
You flipped out when he made his Facebook account private.
Yes.
Okay, now according to Teresa, she says Melissa is the most called person on Bill's cell phone.
I talk to my kids. My kids
And
are my
our
life.
son has a lot of issues.
She said you sent her pictures of Bill's private parts with the message that says, "We're having sex."
Maybe. I don't remember, but it's quite
Oh.
possible. No, I probably did, but I don't remember it.
They say you make up illnesses for your son to get attention from Bill.
I don't need to make up illnesses
Okay,
for
'cause
my
he has
son.
autism.
I didn't say
He
he
has
has
Tourette's.
autism. He has a lot of tics, and they were testing him for Tourette's.
God, I wonder why.
Yeah.
So you called Teresa and Bill's daughter the devil spawn?
Maybe.
No, you did.
She wished
Maybe.
death upon my daughter.
Maybe.
She wished death upon my daughter.
Did you peer through the window, like staring at
When you
Teresa?
picked up your son like 2 weeks ago, you stood outside my door.
I knocked the door and walked into the driveway, so I wasn't at your front door.
You were standing outside. Was she not standing outside our front door?
No.
She was standing in front of the window.
Because I didn't want to be at your front door. I didn't want to
What?
have interaction with you, so
Oh,
I
you're
backed
so
away.
weird. Then why did you even come out to the door?
Because I called and he didn't answer.
I need a break. Coming up, why Bill says his son is not safe with Melissa. Plus, I want to consult a doctor about some of the medications because I think these two parents may want some information they don't have. We'll be right back.
I think Melissa is a horrible mother.
I just don't believe that Melissa has the skills to be a good mom.
Teresa needs to mind her own business and let Bill and I co-parent our child on our own.
I think Melissa is a horrible mother.
My son is the happiest boy in the world. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong as a mother.
Melissa definitely uses my son as a pawn against me. Melissa doesn't get her way with me. She just won't give me my son.
I think I'm a good mother, and I don't think that I would do that and hurt my son that way.
I believe Melissa is totally brainwashing my son.
Melissa tells their son that I hurt mommy, I hit mommy, mommy has bruises because Teresa hit me.
Melissa has put my son on ADD medication.
He's an active kid, he doesn't need pills.
When my son cannot sleep, she gives him melatonin.
Everything I do in terms of medications, I do with doctor supervision.
I just don't believe that Melissa has the skills to be a good mom.
I feel very sorry for their son. I think he's gonna have a really rough life.
Teresa needs to mind her own business and let Bill and I co-parent our child on our own.
Okay, and while you're co-parenting the child, he says you're man-raping him. Come on. There's drama here. You think this is not affecting children?
100%. That's why I'm here.
You think it's affecting your child? What are you doing? You're trying to get him back from her, right?
I don't want to get him back from her, but I think that she does not realize what her and him did to me when I was pregnant.
So, what does that mean? You want revenge?
I guess so.
And you're willing for your son to pay the price for that?
No, I don't. I agree that he's probably caught in the middle of some drama, but
You
I
put
don't
him in the
think-
middle of
but
it,
I don't
Melissa.
think that he is in harm at all.
You put him in the middle of the drama. He does not hear your name mentioned from my mouth when he's in my home.
We don't talk about you
You're full of
either.
it. You told him I hit you in the face. You told him
When
not
he
to give
saw
me
the marks
kisses.
after he saw
you told him not to
no,
love me.
he knows I don't like you, and he
why?
does
How does he
whatever
know
I
that?
do.
How does he know that?
Because he was home there the
Why
night
would
that you started hitting
Why
me.
would you yell at somebody when your kid's inside?
Because he was inside and you were in my face. What am I supposed to do?
If you didn't come out screaming at the house, Teresa would have never gotten out of the car. You came out
If you
of the
had not
house
put our son
screaming.
in a pool after he just got out of the hospital with an ear infection, I wouldn't be screaming at your face.
The way you three are behaving, trust me, if brains were lard, the three of you couldn't grease a skillet. Well, come on, this is not smart. You are the one that have these two interacting and engaged with combat.
Okay.
Right?
That's how you feel, and I.
What do you mean how I feel? Did you cheat on her with her?
Her with her? Yes. Yes, I did.
Did you cheat on her with her?
Yes, I did.
And so you look at me and say, well, if that's the way you want to
But
put it.
the way you guys are coming out is you're focusing on, okay, this is this time pattern or whatnot, and that's not necessarily how it happened. The man rape, which I discussed, was over 2 years ago. It was a long time
And
ago.
you've had sex with me since, but yet I man rape you.
I have had sex with you
By
since,
choice.
when me and her were not together.
But by choice.
One time.
You're trying to save your butt with Teresa.
See, my butt, I already cheated on her. What's the difference
Because
if
you
it was
think
2 or
she's
3
gonna-
times?
No, 2 or 10 is a big difference.
Well, it definitely wasn't 10, wasn't 3, it was 2 from what I remember. But regardless, we're focusing on something when I thought the focus was supposed to be my children, right? I'm here, I've admitted to making mistakes from the beginning, knew that I'm gonna get bashed, and I deserve it because I've made mistakes, but I've also come clean, I've also said, what do
now
I
you're
have to
playing
do
the
to make it
victim.
better?
Now you're playing the victim with me too.
I'm not playing the victim, Dr. Phil, I'm
Oh, the
telling you
hell
I made
you're
a
not.
mistake.
Come on, you grow up, man up,
I
and
just
start
said I made a
conducting
mistake.
yourself
How's that not growing up?
start conducting yourself like a father and a husband
Whoa.
instead of a dog and he.
Now I'm not a father or a husband, Dr. Phil?
You,
Dr. Phil?
you tell me.
No, I know I
You
am.
tell me.
I work
You
hard.
have 2 children involved in this melodrama. Is that responsible fathering? No, sir, it is not.
But I've been trying to end the drama. I've been trying to end the drama.
Well, then she's lying.
Well,
'cause
in
she
October
says
we
you've
had sex. So how long have you been trying to end
It was
the-
not October, it was August.
Okay, August. I'm sorry. I don't know the exact month.
Well,
Okay,
you seem
so
to, 'cause
sorry.
you seem
No,
to
I
pull
thought it was
them
October.
out.
So whatever. August. How long have you been trying to end the drama?
Do you agree, Dad, that you need to calm this situation down?
100%. 100%.
Do you agree that she wants to keep this alive and going?
Yes, I do
And you
believe
know
that.
that?
I believe that. 100%.
Well, then let me tell you about transparency here. You should never be in her presence without her there.
Thank you.
If you have to do a handoff
Thank
with
you.
the child,
I agree.
just do it with her there.
I agree.
And then there's no question about August or October, man rape, bam, bam, 2 versus 10, 15. If you have total transparency in this exchange and with the child, then you have no issue, right?
I agree, Dr. Phil.
All right, look, Bill says his son with Melissa looks nothing like him. Questions if he's even the father. We'll be right back.
It's crossed my mind that Melissa has been artificially inseminated. It's a way to trap Bill.
If Teresa believes that I got artificially inseminated, I think that's very funny. Bill can have a paternity test anytime he would like.
In my heart, I gotta believe he's my son. If he's not, I'm telling you, it's gonna devastate me. It has crossed my mind that my son with Melissa may not be mine.
Bill's son looks nothing like Bill.
Melissa has lied to me so much that I wouldn't put it past her that she lied just to entrap me.
It's crossed my mind that Melissa has been artificially inseminated. It's a way to trap Bill.
If Teresa believes that I got artificially inseminated, I think that's very funny. Bill can have a paternity test anytime he would like.
I would love to have a paternity test. In my heart, I gotta believe he's my son. If he's not, I'm telling you, it's gonna devastate me.
Well, I have a sealed envelope here. with the paternity test results. It's from the DNA Diagnostic Center. It's not been opened or tampered with in any way. You all agreed to do this, right? You want to know, right?
Absolutely.
The probability of paternity with regard to you being the father of that child is 99.999%.
Good.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, it's made me really happy. Thank you, Dr. Phil.
So that's done. Now let's talk about the son. Melissa says that her 3-year-old son was diagnosed with ADHD at about age 1. He is currently taking 1 milligram of Intuniv, and she gives him 3 milligrams of melatonin at bedtime every day because she says he has trouble sleeping. Our medical resource here at the Dr. Phil Show is something we do through Doctor on Demand, which is a new app that we have created. And I want to do this so that everyone can understand the potentiality of the medicines and the diagnoses that have been thrown around here. So I've just touched the app. You see it's coming up now. It says success. You're connecting with Dr. Ian Tong, and there he is. Dr. Tong, how are you, sir?
Very good, Bill. How are you doing?
I am well. One of the things that I'm concerned about is that this child is on some medications that you know about, Dr. Tong. First off, can you reliably diagnose a child with ADHD at 1 year of age?
If you were looking at or talking about a patient who is under the age of 6, you really probably need to engage a specialist who is a child and adolescent psychiatrist to make that diagnosis.
If you start treating with ADHD drugs, such as what's being given here, what's the problem?
It does depend, however, on the medication that's used. So one of the most common medications that was used for ADHD was methylphenidate, or there are other medications that have, they're called immediate release stimulants. And these medications have been shown to potentially have effect on nutrition as well as growth patterns. So you can have some delay in growth or development as a result. The medications can also cause heightened levels of anxiety. They can affect sleep. They can actually increase someone's agitation.
All right, and what is your opinion of giving a child 3 milligrams of melatonin at bedtime?
The problem with doing that is that you don't really know the concentration of the active ingredient when you're using something that's not regulated by the FDA. So we don't want to make any recommendation that we don't have the evidence for or the knowledge base to know how that medication or substance is created, manufactured, and really what levels of the effective dose are in that. So I pretty much have to stay away from recommending for or against things that I just don't even know what's in the mixture.
And you understand what he's saying is melatonin, if it's FDA regulated, the concentrations have to be authenticated and validated. If it's not FDA regulated, they can make this stuff in a bathtub and then mix it up into different pills. So you might get one pill that has a very high concentration of the active ingredient, and the next one has no concentration of the active ingredient in it, whether it's done with liquid or a tablet or whatever. You have no idea because there's no regulation.
Okay, I didn't know that, no.
Dr. Tong will release you because I know you're very busy, so we'll thank you so much.
Very much. Thanks for having me.
My point here is the last thing you want to do is first get a child in the middle of all of this crossfire and then start throwing pills at the kid. That's the last thing what you want to do. What you want to do is turn down the environmental noise and decide that you are a fiduciary. You may want him because you love him, you may want him because you want to just screw her over. There may be 50 different reasons that you want to do this, but the problem is you're a fiduciary for this child, and you have to put that child's interest ahead of your own. And that means this drama has to stop.
Yes.
Now, next, who is the problem here? Is Melissa obsessed? Is Bill a drama queen? Does Teresa need to just move on? My plan for what needs to happen here when we come back.
What I want from Melissa is to just co-parent our son together with no drama.
Bill needs to know that he hurt me when he cheated. Trust is a big issue, and it's going to take time to heal it.
Bill needs to know his gig is up, that he can't keep treating women the way he's been treating Teresa and I.
What I want from Melissa is to just co-parent our son together with no drama.
My greatest fear is that Bill and I will never be able to get our co-parenting together because of Teresa.
All I want from Melissa is to be able to coexist without drama.
I want Bill to step up. I want him to stop questioning me as our son's mother and the decisions that I make for our son.
What I want from Teresa is I want to earn the trust back.
Bill needs to know that he hurt me when he cheated. Trust is a big issue, and it's going to take time to heal it.
Bill needs to know his gig is up, that he can't keep treating women the way he's been treating Teresa and I, and I'm sure other women in his past. He needs to realize that he's the bad guy and not necessarily me.
How do you feel about this? Do you trust him?
No, not with her.
I just want to tell you straight up that you've seen time and again that he has lied and cheated on you. Over and over, right?
Yeah.
And there's an old saying in Texas, for every rat you see, there's 50 you don't. Do you think everything you know is all there is to know?
No.
And you're over there saying, what the hell, like 2 times. You think I don't get timing, right? You think I don't get timing?
You're a very intelligent man, Doctor. You get everything.
So is she lying when she says that y'all have had sex 10 to 15 times?
I don't think it's been 10 to 15 times, Doctor.
How do you not? That's a big difference.
I'm saying like two, 3 times.
Well, then you
tops.
say no. It hasn't been 10.
No, it has not been 10 or 15 times.
No, it doesn't count if you tell him what to say.
I just don't understand if you didn't do it. Why are you not adamant?
Well, no,
about not
you're
doing
saying
it?
you didn't like his answers,
No,
or you tell him what he needs to say
I'm
to convince
trying
you.
to
Here, say this, so I'll believe you.
Wake up, stupid! Like you're not. Like you're obviously wrong.
Okay, look. Here's the thing. You're an agitator here, right?
Yes.
And it's at the expense of your child. You're creating drama here. And listen, it's not going to go well for you. It's unbecoming. You don't wear it well. It doesn't come across well. And your son gets caught in a crossfire. He has moved on. And if I were you, maybe that's a really good thing. He's cheated on you. So, come on. Get on with your life. This has to stop. Hopefully somebody here will mature enough to get past this. But I'm telling you, transparency between these two is your friend. And you need to accept the truth. He is with her now, right?
Yes. I think a lot of our issues are in regards to parenting our son. I don't think he steps up as a father, and that leads us into big arguments.
He doesn't step up as a father.
You hide behind that. You hide behind that, but I've read through your statements here. You're taking pictures of his private parts and sending them to her. Grow up, lady. Come on, both of you, grow the hell up. This is not Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and there are children involved. You two grow up, and you provide the leadership here to calm this down. Be a leader.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Teresa wrote me a question. I'm going to answer that next. You had a question. How do you deal with this? You need to make a core decision. Are you buying a ticket to a train wreck? I mean, that's what you need to ask yourself. And the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior, unless something dramatic happens to change his value system and his behavior. You're going to get the same thing in the future that you've gotten in the past. And that means that there is a real maturity issue here, and you guys are not married, correct?
No.
I'm going to arrange some premarital counseling for the two of you. Very intense, very focused, very private premarital counseling by a specialist. I want you to go through that. And if at the end of that you think you've got the core, the onus for a marriage, then make that decision. Don't get married till you do that.
No.
You deserve that.
Thank you.
Okay? You deserve that. Your family deserves that. Your children, your son deserves that. Will you?
ادي نقوم مع الماوس. الماوس علق يا اسطى. هو انتوا نزلتونا فين يا جدعان؟ هقفل وجاي يا جدعان، هقفل وجاي.